And hello, welcome to Solo Playthroughs. We are going to Splice and Dice, and we're going to Too Many Bones, but we're going to be going through the Splice and Dice Tyrants, and I'm super excited about this. This is not a first look. I have gone through some of the encounters, read through, just so I have a small idea of what's going on, but I have yet to actually try the Ammonite Tyrant encounter at the end of this, so I am excited to see what happens today with our friend Stanza and Picket. I need to say right off the bat that this was a review copy sent to me, not of everything you see on the table, but there was a review copy of Splice and Dice sent to me by Chip Theory Games. And in sending to me, Josh Wilgus was like, look, I know people really like to create their own tyrants, but the cornerstone, the best part of the Splice and Dice expansion, at least according to Josh Wilgus, is the Splice and Dice Tyrants. There has not been a ton of coverage on them on YouTube, so I'm excited to start the series and go through it, and let's see if we can have some epic, legendary moments. If we do not do well in the first couple of days, do not be surprised if we just run this back and try it again. It is only an 8-day adventure, so we do not have much time. The 8-day adventures are a blessing and a curse, right? Like, you just don't have much margin for error. You really need to make every day count to get yourself beefed up enough to be able to take down the tyrant in the final battle. Ammonite is a very interesting final encounter, in that we will have to defeat Ammonite multiple times because it's a fungus, and a fungus is among us, and that stuff will not go away easily, that is for sure. Let me try to get the chat pulled up here. All right, nothing in the chat. That is good. I do also want to mention that the tabletop you are seeing, it is darker than my old videos and live playthroughs. As I mentioned last week, I was sent a complimentary new table surface by Paul Gray from Big Viking Mats. I absolutely love this table, and I would highly recommend looking at Big Viking Mats if you are in the market for a table for yourself. So let's get to it. We have Stanza, we have Picket. Stanza, again, is a musician, but she is still a melee baddie. So while her songs can have huge effects across the table at times, she... Our Microsoft is telling me that Solo Playthroughs is live. Yeah, I got it. She still needs to be adjacent to attack, and some of her songs will require an adjacent target as well. So we'll see that play out. And the Picket is the defensive whiz, has shields everywhere, and hopefully we can gear up for a couple of epic shield bashes. However, when you do a shield bash, obviously you are leaving yourself vulnerable because all your shields go bye-bye. We have Brian Skalik. I'm getting my Splice and Dice with my Hoplo Pledge. PA is a mushroom state. Is the mushroom state. Nice. Very, very cool. I mean, I guess that's true. I didn't realize that, Pennsylvania was that known for mushrooms, but I guess it does make sense from some things I know about the state that I also live in, along with Brian here. What do I want to do first? Let's do a little story time with Greg. Ammonite. Here we go. Nobulous fancies himself an expert in all areas of science, but his attempt to improve on the venomous experiments pioneered by Drellin led to the creation of a tyrant so toxic that Nobulous was forced to expel him from his lab. These days, Ammonite lurks in whatever bog will have it, infesting the air with its poisonous spores. It uses scales baddies, it uses beast type baddies, it uses orc type baddies, or goblin type baddies are the yellow, right? Yeah, orcs are the blue. So goblin type baddies, and it uses bog type baddies. This is its little chip. Here's its tyrant die, and now we're going to read the special rules for the Ammonite setup. Both Lock Gear and Ammonite have special setup cards that come in Splice and Dice. So while every tyrant's territorial nature presents its own challenges, Ammonite is unique in that it's already begun to implement a fungal apocalypse. Now comfortable roaming the bogs, Ammonite has grown stronger with each passing day, so strong in fact that the residents of Daylor have begun to exhibit signs of a dangerous disease many are referring to as spore sickness. The terrible fungus begins its life completely harmless, but quickly begins to rot away its host, attracting hungry predators in the process. It's nasty. So each Gearlock starts the adventure with a spore die in their prep area set to level 1. This is the spore die. This is level 1. It's very similar to Stanza songs, except the level is going to be in the top right. So we have level 1 there, level 1 here. Level 1 has no effect, but we will see effects pretty soon in this playthrough. Make no mistake. Here we go. The spore will remain there for the duration of the adventure, even if the Gearlock is KO'd. Before each battle, each Gearlock's spore effect is resolved. See spore effects on back. During battle, a Gearlock may choose to forfeit their turn to negative. So if you're bleeding, you still get negative effects. You just can't do positive effects. It's interesting with Stanza, but also means that she can't advance her dice. So any songs that she has playing go by. So it can be pretty nasty. So we're gonna have to choose our timing to do this with Stanza very, very carefully. During doing so allows them to streak their spore, which decreases this level by 1. However, in a party of 1 or 2, we can decrease our spore level by 2. Also, don't forget, I think you can play, it seems pretty clear you can play Ammonite with either the Undertow setup or with the base game setup. Playing with the base game setup means that you do have three special days, day 1, day 2, and day 3. So that is 3 recovery phases. So our level 1 spore is going to be a level 4 spore before we even get to day 4, right? So not a lot of wiggle room with this. And again, in a two Gearlock game, having a whole round where you feel like you have a chance to just forfeit your turn is not always the easiest thing to do. However, you do want to deal with it. Why? Because as the spore die gets stronger, there are 2 different effects that it's going to give you. One is the blight number. The blight number means that you're adding numbers to a baddie queue. So, and that's cumulative. So if I have a blight number 1 for Picket and a blight number 2 for Stanza, that means I'm adding 3 to the baddie queue before a battle, and that is a before battle effect. So it is one of the first things that you do as you set up for a new battle. There's also the rot number. The rot number says remove number of dice player's choice from any slot in the Gearlock mat, including the stat dice. Skill dice removed in this way are exhausted. Stat dice and counters removed in this way are suspended until the end of the battle. Nasty, nasty, and more nasty. We'll just leave this card up here. I do have the Splice and Dice baddies thrown in there. Remember, there's a lot of dual type baddies. They're pretty shuffled. I'm just going to give them a quick, once over here just to get them more random. These are the 20-point baddies. Obviously, will not see many of those in a two-tier lock Gearlock game. We have Matthias dupe. Well, I got my burn cycle yesterday. Hey Greg, hello Matthias. I have played burn cycle. My friend Brian had a copy. I like it. I do like it. I think Liz Davidson's review of it echoed my really too early feelings of it, where she was basically like, it's very good, but it doesn't seem to be knocking on the door of greatness the way Cloudspire or Too Many Bones does. But it's really good. I like some of the decisions they made. I need to explore it more. One of the complaints you're seeing a lot is it's very long for what it is, and I agree with that. But lots of variety in there, lots of different corporations, lots of different guards, lots of different mechs. I guess they're mechs. Lots of different robots that you can kind of explore with different powers. Some cool leveling up. So I do like it a lot. It almost seemed the opposite of Too Many Bones, that some of the shorter encounters seem like they might be harder, because by the time we got to the 3rd level, we were so leveled up that the 3rd level was kind of like one-shotting a tyrant. It wasn't really a challenge, but the choices to get there were definitely interesting. So lots of things going on with Burn Cycle. We'll see. I do not own it. I do not plan on owning it. I'm looking forward to getting Hopomakas, and I think I'll have the trilogy, my personal trilogy of chip theory game stuff with Cloudspire, Too Many Bones, and Hopomakas. So hey Matthias, how do you like Burn Cycle? Matthias says, haven't got a chance to play it yet. Yeah, it's really good. I'm definitely don't take anything I said as being super negative about it. There's a ton of reviews out there already, and they do speak for itself. And obviously, chip theory game, so the quality you get is obviously always going to be there. It's just it's a very different kind of experience than Cloudspire or Too Many Bones. So it is what it is. The good thing is you don't have to deal with piles of of health chips, so that it's kind of nice. Not gonna lie. So we have the round 1. Here I have the Trove loot shuffled. I'm shuffling up the regular loot. So it's been a while since I've actually played the base game. I've been dealing with Undertow for so long, so it was like, wait, there's 3 encounters, and it's nice to kind of see some of the OG as far as the loot goes. But we'll get this shuffled up. This will go here. What is that? Something on my loot card. This is fine. It is not there anymore. We now have my any die for Picket, my any die for Stanza. I have Stanza starts with her Lutar die, Picket starts with Squaw and Douche. So we're gonna go to our day one. So the interesting thing about Ammonite has 5 Tyrant encounters. Now this is only an 8-day adventure. So we take the day 1, day 2, and day 3. I do not have 40 days of Daylore yet. I will get that with the Hopmock of Torrent Kickstarter. So I do not have the variety. So we're going to have the vanilla 1, 2, and 3. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to shuffle in 5 of these general encounters. I'm actually going to use the general encounters instead of what I did last time when I tried to shuffle in solo encounters in a 2 Gearlock game, because that was, me being really smart. So we're going to only have 5 of these general encounters, and we're going to have 5 Tyrant encounters. I mean, this this Tyrant is made so that you will be doing a lot of Tyrant encounters. I've looked through them. They don't seem anything super, super crazy, but when you compound the effects of the Tyrant encounters plus of the little spore dice you have, they are going to be pretty nasty. So we'll see how that plays out. So again, we're really only dealing with 4 days that are unaccounted for. 1, 2, and 3 are going to be the special encounters, and then day 8 hopefully will be the Tyrant encounter. So we're just dealing with days 4, 5, 6, and 7, and we should expect to see at least half of those to be Tyrant encounters for sure. So I'm going to take 5 off the top. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to get a D10 over here. Where are my D10s? Here we go. And I will be rolling a die as usual to determine the encounters instead of trying to shuffle all these. So 5, 5, and 3, and there is our encounter deck. Juan Manuel Burgos says, "Hi, I love your videos. Greeting from Spain." Hello, Juan. Thank you for joining me today. Glad to get this party started. So let's go ahead and do it. And I will read the encounters today. I guess it's only 8 days, and we haven't done the base game of Too Many Bones in quite a while. So let's just pretend we never heard this before. So special encounter, leaving Obendar. Only 12 hours till dawn, and the send-off ceremony that will no doubt change the lives of every remaining Gearlock. So again, thinking about the timeline gets a little funny when you add these encounters, right? Because we are like, some of this flavor text is going to basically be pre everything we learned in Undertow. So who is Nobulous? So basically we're just like, there's a spore thing that's going around. So in theory, Picket and Stanza don't even know about Nobulous at this point, if we just want to go through the narrative of the game as we go back into the base game. But so we are in Obendar, and now we are going forth and trying to kill some bad tyrants that are making a lots of trouble in our beautiful, beautiful land. So Gearlock, every remaining Gearlock, and likely every life in Daylore. Weapons and supplies are ready to go, but the night is young and adrenaline fills the veins. It's clear no sleep will be had tonight. There's sure to be some shady peddlers in dark alleys ready to deal and loot. Then again, some last-minute training could pay a nice dividend by morning. So what to do, what to do. I will definitely be, since I'm playing on Legendary mode, training points are going to be super important, especially in an 8-day adventure. So I'll for sure be squeezing in some last-minute self-improvement, and I'm going to take 2 training points, and we will get 1 progress point. We'll use a D6 up here to figure out our progress. We need to have 6 progress points before we can take on Ammonite. Before I forget, I will go ahead and not only advance our little spore dice here, we'll deal with those effects once we get to our battle. So they are both on the 2 side of that. And I'm going to scout. I'm going to scout with Stanza. She rolls a 2. We'll see what the top 1-point baddie is. Oh, it is a bog frog with poison 2. That's nasty. So we're not going to deal with poison 2. No, thank you. So we're going to just cycle that to the bottom. And then Picket rolls. I rolled a 4. We will scout a 5-point baddie. We have the Cobalt Fanatic. It rolls 3 dice. Hardy, Inspire 1, 6 health. Eesh. That's also fairly nasty. Hardy, Inspire 1. I mean, that's just a lot of health, dude. Can I have it ignored? I don't love this one, but it's 3 dice. I think we'll just live with it. Those 5-point baddies are never good, so we'll just kind of deal with what we get. So I'm going to do 2 training points for both Stanza and for Picket. So if we go to the beginner strat builds, Recommend that Dex is important first because Stanza's songs use it each turn. Next, grab an attack, then go back for more Dex, choosing hit points or defense depending on the baddies that you are facing. I will take control of, I'll go a song. I'm going to get Forever Mine, and that is, and it says, yeah, Skills for Forever Mine is a great entry song. It's really good, so we're going to put this here. And then with my second training point, I will take, kind of want to take another attack, but Dex does become super important. Because again, the way Stanza works, again, beginning of her turn, if she starts a song that takes a Dex, and then if you have multiple songs going, you need all that Dex. Yeah, let's get her. I want to move. Let me go ahead and get a attack, I think. I don't like only having one attack die. So I'm going to roll this, see if I can train the attack. I succeed. So a little bit of a weird build, probably not the greatest idea, but I just like having 2 attack dice just when you're trying to finish off a baddie. Picket, I'm going to do the same thing. Well, his deck starts awfully. Right, so 1 attack, 2 defense, and he only has 2 Dex. I definitely need to give him a Dex. And I might go ahead and give him another Dex because it's just crazy to be that under Dexed when you're Picket. Although he has so many defense dice. Do I try to get another attack die? Let me try to get, I'll give him another attack die too. I think if they both have an attack die, that'll be helpful. I rolled a 1, so that's a successful training point. But high prize is going to be getting another Dex for Picket for sure. Alright, we go to day 2. I am going to be doing the harder one. I will do the flavor text again, hardly out the gate. 15 steps into the journey. 15 steps! And already a Gearlock boot is struck through by an arrow. Luckily, no toes were killed. Teeth are clenched and a painful tug is made while looking around in embarrassment. Yow! Now sufficiently ticked, it's time to return the favor to the ominous figures at the edge of the woods. A commotion breaks out atop the city wall, interrupting all thoughts. Guards have now spotted the brazen intruders and are notching their arrows. Their help is at the ready, like it or not. The adventure is underway! So we go to day 2. We are not going to have the guards help us because, heck no, we will get less training points that way, and training points are the name of the game right now. So it's time to show Obadar what Gearlocks are made of. With Obadar watching, you feel an extra shot of adrenaline as you prepare for an unexpected battle. Battle Q is baddie points. What are baddie points? Well, it's 2 Gearlocks, it's day 2, so that's 4, +1 because of our spore dice. Now, there is no rot yet, so we don't have to get rid of dice on our little mats here, but we do have to add those baddie points, so we're going for a battle queue of a 6. That means this beautiful little kobold fanatic that we've seen, and a level and a 1-point baddie as well. So we're going to have the 5-pointer in lane 1, the 1-pointer in lane 3. The 5-pointer, again, a kobold fanatic. He's hardy, so it means he can only take 1 damage per turn. Stanza has some really fun ways to kind of manipulate that with her Forever Mine ability, so hopefully that will work. And the Kobold Fanatic is rolling 3 dice every turn, plus it has Inspire 1. What's Inspire 1? Well, the next baddie, here's our master reference with all of the skills that go for base game, Undertow, and Splice and Dice. The next baddie enemy meter takes their turn immediately after this unit and is granted 1 additional die for that turn. The Kobold Fanatic has an any die of a 3, so where is the blue any die? Here we go. And we're going to put it with 6 health in the melee position in lane 1. Done. The next baddie's coming up. It is the Griffin Yearling. Griffin Yearling has an any die of a 5. It is in lane 2, so that is the purple any die here. It has flight, so after it attacks, it gets the flight die on it. It becomes untargetable. And then the next turn it will attack, it loses untargetable, so you basically can only attack it every other round, but it only has 2 health. Not that bad, but it does roll 2 dice too, which is great, because with Stanza's ability, I can use it to attack this Kobold Fanatic. So that is also a melee baddie, so no ranged baddies. And now we go ahead and we have to roll some Gearlock dice. First, Picket, using his innate +1 innate shield wall to start a battle. Picket may roll all of his defense dice and place roll defense in active slots. For this roll, bones cannot be placed in the backup plan. So he's rolling his 2 defense dice here. We're rolling the any die for Stanza, we're rolling the any die for Picket, and we're also rolling the Lutar die. So I'm rolling these 5 dice. Matthias Tooth, there must be an elder god who's messing with space and time and encounter cards. Don't you know these stories are heart by now? Yes. Pretty much, man. I cannot wait for 40 Days of Daylor. I mean, it's like one of those things. Like, there's part of it where I like feel like this game, just they were still like a younger company figuring these out, but you definitely gave me like a slightly incomplete game, and I kind of get it. But like, oh, had I known. Because I was still really diving into Too Many Bones a lot when I backed the Hoplomachus Victorum. I definitely would have just picked up 40 Days of Daylor on the side, or Age of Tyranny, or whatever one gives you the extra special encounter cards, because I'm so sick of these 3. Which is one of the reasons I've been playing so much Undertow, because at least there's, some variety. So I roll those dice. We have a Lutar die of a 4. We have an any die for Stanza of a 4, so she's going to go before this Cobalt Fanatic. We have an any die of a 3 for Picket. The good thing too, again, this Inspire is basically going to fall flat because there is no baddie below the Cobalt Fanatic, so we don't have to worry about an extra die being given to a baddie. Picket only rolled 1 defense die, and he rolled the bones. The bones doesn't do anything for him when you're rolling it this early, and now we have to put both Stanza and Picket on the board. The Griffin Yearling is going to be untargetable. 3 attack. This attack's the strongest. Both Stanza and Picket have 5 health, so we can definitely get Picket to be the one to be attacked by the Cobalt Fanatic. So why don't we go? Who has more decks? Who needs more decks? 2, 2. Yeah, I want them both to be able to attack this Fanatic. If we can take this Fanatic down in 2 turns, and then we'll deal with the Yearling, that's probably the way to go. But we'll see. So I have a focus of a 4. What does that mean? As I play songs, remember every song has a focus amount. If I can't ever play the focus cost, then I need to exhaust any of the songs that are active. However, I can always vamp a song. It still takes 1 focus, but it would actually be a way to restart the song and still give me some wiggle room with any other songs that I might have in play. He attacks 2. Yeah, that will work, because then Yearling will attack Stanza, Cobalt Fanatic will attack Picket, I think, if I go this way. So we're going to start round 1. We got Brian Skylark also has Age of Tyranny, also has day 1, 2, and 3. Yeah, rock on. So start with the Griffin Yearling. Griffin Yearling is going to move. It's attacking the weakest. Again, it's going to attack the closest first, and then it will go to the weakest. So again, it's 1 away from Stanza, so it's attacking Stanza with 2 dice. It does 2 damage. Stanza is down to 3 health. And now the Flight's going to trigger, so this sucker is untargetable if I can find the right die. That is the one. Right, so it's just a Flight die, so it virtually makes it untargetable. Then we have Stanza's turn. So Stanza is going to start Forever Mine at the beginning of her turn. Now this takes up 1 dex, and it's also going to take up 1 focus. So you put it there. Now we can take a turn for a 1-point baddie. The baddie is going to move up to 2, and it's going to attack. This baddie is attacking the Cobalt Fanatic with 2 dice. It does 2 damage. Hardy triggers. It only becomes 1 damage, so this dude's down to 5 health. And now Stanza has 2 more decks to do some things with. Now that was a whole separate turn. So that was the Griffin Yearling's turn. So now Stanza on her turn is rolling 1 attack and 1 defense die. Think that's gonna make sense, and hopefully we don't bones out on the attack die. Now she's attacking the Cobalt Fanatic. We get 1 shield. We do 1 damage, so Cobalt Fanatic is down to 4. Done. We go to Picket's turn. Picket has 3 decks. Picket's going to move and rolling 1 attack and 1 defense die themselves. Don't bones out on the attack, please. Awesome. So we get 2 defense, 1 damage. You're halfway through the Cobalt Fanatic's health. And now we go to the Cobalt Fanatic's turn. Cobalt Fanatic is attacking the strongest. Who's the strongest? Well, it's Picket. Cobalt Fanatic is rolling 3 dice. Oop. Dropped that accidentally. Don't know what it was. 3 dice against Picket. It is only 1 damage. Great. So this shield comes out. 2 bones don't do anything because there's no backup plan for the Cobalt Fanatic. And again, the Inspire falls flat because there's no other baddies left on on the inning meter. We go to round 2. The Griffin Yearling is going to start this puppy off. Griffin Yearling is going to move. It's going to lose the flight die, and it's attacking Stanza with 2 dice. It does 2 damage. Shield comes off. 1 health goes away. We go to Stanza's turn. Stanza, at the beginning of her turn, is going to initiate her. Is going to advance Forever Mind. That takes 1 dex, and now it's 2 focus of the 4 that we have with our Lutar die. Is going to now take a turn for the Griffin Yearling. So it moves 2. It attacks with 2 dice against the Cobalt Fanatic. It does 2 damage. Hardy triggers down to 1. Stanza herself still has 2 decks left. She is just going to roll 2 attack dice because if she doesn't survive after the next turn, it's not the biggest of deals. So we want to make sure if we bones out here, it's not a big deal. And we did 1 damage because we rolled 2 damage, and it becomes a 1 because of Hardy. Picket's turn. Picket still has a 2 shield, has 3 decks, is going to roll 1 attack die, was going to roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense die, using all 3 of his decks, going against the Cobalt Fanatic, and we get the shield. Cobalt Fanatic is out. Thanks for playing. Done. We now go to round 3. The Griffin Yearling is going to move. It's going to move there. It's attacking the weakest, which is obviously Stanza. Attacking with 2 dice. It does 2 damage. Stanza's out. This comes out. Done. And now we do Picket's turn. Picket has a bunch of wiggle room here. I think it's not going to be maximally effective, but I think it makes some sense for Picket to just forfeit their turn. Oh wait, this is round 3. So yeah, so the Yearling is actually untargetable anyway because it has flight. So Picket's going to forfeit their turn, and now it's going to reduce its spore die by 1. I could reduce it by 2 normally, but again, I can't go lower than 1. So there is no level 0 on this die. So I'm not doing the most efficient forfeiting of my turn, but it will help me in future rounds for sure. We now go to round 4. The Griffin Yearling is attacking Picket. It's attacking with 2 dice. It's going to lose the untargetable die. It does 3 damage, takes away all Picket's shields. Picket's turn has 3 decks. It's going to roll 2 attack dice and 1 defense die. We get a bones, we get 1 shield, and we do 1 damage. Griffin Yearling still has 1 health. We go to round 5. Now we're just trying to survive until Shield Bash acquires a target, right? Yeah. So we're going to basically just have to kill this Griffin Yearling during fatigue rounds. So the Griffin Yearling is going to attack with 2 dice. It does 1 damage. The shield comes off. Griffin Yearling has flight triggered, so it's untargetable. We go to Picket's turn. Picket is just going to move. Yeah, I can't get away from being attacked anyways. Oh, it doesn't matter. It's going to die next round. So we're just going to roll 2 defense die because we can. We can't roll an attack dice because we can't target the Griffin Yearling. So we have 2 defense dice. We go to fatigue rounds. Picket loses the health, and the Griffin Yearling uses the health. Griffin Yearling is out. And we have won the scenario. Great. Did Ammonite die at 2 baddie points? So Matthias, the Ammonite die added 1 per Gearlock because it was one baddie point because of Stanza and 1 baddie point because of Picket. That is totally cumulative. I mean, I don't read anything to say you only take the largest. So yeah, everything else is cumulative. It affects every person. So yeah, it's pretty gross. It can definitely add up. Would flight go after you take a turn for the Griffin? Huh. Ending his turn. Yeah, it's optional when you take a turn for. Actually, that's a good point. So that definitely been undervaluing the Forever Mine with the Griffin. So when you take a turn for a baddie, you have the option to use any or all of their skills, and that includes like break, corrosive. So I could have chosen to remove the flight die. It obviously didn't change how anything went. I didn't attack the Griffin until the end anyway. Um, so and then the timing, I might have been able to save Picket a health if he, was able to kill the Griffin Yearling in round 5 instead of fatigue rounds. But yeah, you do have the option, so that could have triggered. I could have taken the die off, absolutely, because basically Stanza is in complete control thematically over what the Yearling is doing. So really good question. Nice job on the Cobalt, says Brian. Doesn't matter because you took 2 turns with the Griffin, says Matthias. All right. Very cool. So let's get to the recovery round. We're going to get another progress point. So that is now 2 of the 6 that we need. We get a loot for each of us. What are you? It is a troll brew. Single use outside of battle, permanently increase your health stat die by 1 at the start of your next battle. Reduce your current health points by 3. That sounds interesting, but yikes. The start of it has to be the next battle. Ugh, I don't love it. Actually, very much don't love it. Then we go to Picket. Picket gets a gadget arm. If a training attempt fails, you may make another attempt. That is not the loot of dreams on either account here. I'm going to take those dice out. So now we go to 2 training points. Let me upgrade the dice. Picket's spore die goes to 2. Stanza's spore die goes to 3. Stanza is going to get her Forever Mine ability back. We get the Lutar die is going to go there. She obviously needs more dex, so we're going to take a dex. And I really like Axe-Blade. I just think it's super strong, especially because we're going to be facing a lot of Scales baddies that have the hardy trait. Just think that is where I want to go right now. But maybe it's wrong, but I like it. So we're going to do that. So 4. Yeah, Dex is at 4. Probably want to get her another Dex for sure. Picket is obviously taking a Dex because, Dex. I'm kind of tempted to give him another Dex too. He's really could use it. Let me try to train my shields. Could be helpful. So I'm going to try to train my defense. In theory, I should let me not take the dex first. Let me not take the dex first. Let me try to train my shields. I successfully trained my shields, so we got him up to 3, and then we'll take that dex for sure. Now, he's going to be up to like rot level. No, he won't be. He will. Will he be? No, he won't be. All right, so because the rot again, they're gonna have to take away a die, and they don't. That could be really bad if you don't have a lot of skills to kind of just exhaust the beginning of a battle. Rot's just a really, really nasty mechanic. So that was the end of day 2. We're gonna do the recovery option. Obviously, Stanza's gonna get full health back, so she's up to 5. Picket will scout. Let's see what these. Hopefully, I can roll a 4 or 5 here. I rolled a 1. We'll see what the 1-point baddie is. So Picket's got 1 health less than he should. We have the Clay Golem. It's not bad. It only has 1 attack die, but obviously it has the break and has 5 health. But we could definitely do a lot worse than that. So I will keep him. It's a bog type baddie. We go to day 3. So the crossing the Sabran. We have the Sabran, a glistening vein of trade running the length of Daylor, playfully beckons as it shimmers in the daylight up ahead. But with so few bridges in these parts, the crossing is an obvious spot for enemy scouts and traps. A journey of this importance leaves only 2 options. Tucking the ears and trying to blend in is risky, but efficient. A boat at dusk carries less chance of discovery, but requires business with a Molnar, a trading syndicate with their own set of drawbacks. You're not dealing with a Molnar. Getting a Trove Loot in an 8-day adventure is just not worth it. Almost 99% of the time. That's advanced math certificate, advanced math breakdown. It just feels that way. There's so few times that I feel like a Trove Loot is actually a game-breaking thing to justify it. I'd rather just get the extra training point that we're going to get there. So we're going to do option one. We're going to get training point and a progress point. So we will be up to 3. However, we're going to tuck our ears and walk like a commoner. I roll a d6 for each gear lock. So I'm going to roll for Stanza. I rolled a 2. So the next encounter we do has to be a Tyrant encounter. I don't even have to roll for Picket. So for each gear lock on a 1 or 2, your party is spotted. Find the first Tyrant encounter in your deck and place it on top. Shuffle the remaining cards and keep them underneath. So obviously the first doesn't make any sense because these weren't shuffled like you're supposed to. Again, I do it a little differently. So I'm just going to roll a die and we'll determine which of these 5 Tyrant encounters we're going to do on the next day. I rolled a 4, so we're going to do this Tyrant encounter. That's going to be our next encounter card. We're going to get back to the next recovery phase. So I had to spend my 1 progress point for each, or 1 training point for each gear lock, and I also need to advance the spore die. So Stanza spore die goes to the 4th level. So she has Rot 1, +1 to the baddie queue, and then Pickets goes to the 3rd level. Remember, he did forfeit a turn, so he's 1 behind Stanza now. So it's add 1 to the baddie queue, but we don't have to worry about Rot. How am I going to go ahead and spend training points now is the real question. Oosh. I think Stanza should get... And she only has the 1 song. Could do Under the Old Self-Free, and we're probably just going to have to exhaust something at the beginning of the next turn anyway. But we'll take Under the Old Self-Free. That health can be important. That goes there. Progress point for Picket. Picket will take Stand Ground. Nope. Picket should take a Dex. Picket should definitely take a Dex. He doesn't have Rot. Think that'll make the most sense. So Picket's taking a Dex, so he's up to 5. So we're doing all stat build for Picket, which is like super strong for him for sure. What is next? Don't think I ever used Troll Bureau. The benefit not worth the cost, especially entire early game. Yeah, couldn't you have spent the last turn of the last round to reduce the Ammonite die with Picket? Instead of rolling dice, I did 2 progress on day 3. Oh yeah, 2 progress points. Yeah, great. So we're up to 4. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna do a premature attack on Ammonite anyway. But yeah, thanks, Brian. Good catch. Well, Matthias, I already reduced the Ammonite die 1, and I can't go lower than 1, so I can't further reduce it. It just is what it is. I don't think there's anything on here that says I can take it off. Set to level 1. Yeah, to a minimum of 1. So Pickett's die was already reduced to the minimum during that battle on day 2. So I couldn't do much more with it. Trove is more useful for 3 or 4 players. I can definitely see that. Sajid, well, hello, playing poker tonight. I see. Yeah, lots of red chips, man. From for anyone who plays a lot of poker, I'm swimming in $5 denomination chips. Hi, is Sajid, or is it craps? I mean, it feels like craps, doesn't it? Hi, Brian. How are you doing? Matthias says hello, and Brian says we are fantastic. How are you? Excellent. All right. We have done our training, so we have 5 points of training here. We have 5 points of training here. I really don't know what I'm doing with Stanza right now. This just isn't what I normally like. I really want to get Breaking of Daylore. That's going to be hard. Although River Deep would be an easy target just to get rid of with a Rot effect. We do have a recovery option. Stanza's already at full health, so she's in a scout. She rolls a 5. Great. So we can see what this 5-point baddie is. It is the Shadow Keeper. Oh! So it is a melee baddie, has 7 health. It rolls 1 defense die. It's a defense die, look all jacked up. And it is a Bog type baddie and a Scales baddie, and it has Daze. The Daze effect means it places a Daze effect on target until the end of its turn. Unit cannot move, which isn't terrible. Now, what is terrible is this Poison 3 effect. I really wish I had loot that allowed me to ignore a poison die, because that's just going to absolutely annihilate me. There's nothing I can do about that. So I'm going to absolutely put this Shadow Keeper on the bottom here. Ugh. We're going to day 4. We're gonna have basically 2 5-point baddies. But what's the chances that I roll and get a 4 or 5? Well, Greg, it's a third. I understand. Thank you for helping me with the math there. I do think Pickett's gonna go ahead and get his full health back, and hopefully we get a little lucky with these top 2 5-pointers here. So we're going to put this back to round 1. We're going to go to day 4. We already rolled the die to determine that this is our next encounter. So here we go. It's a Tyrant encounter. Shroom Haven. This must be the place. A modest house with a laboratory in the back, nearly falling apart at the seams. Black mold coats every surface, and large chunks of wall, ceiling, and building materials hang loose, softened from the ever-consuming rot. Nearly every variety of mushroom known to Gearlock grows from various surfaces, creating an almost dreamlike atmosphere, and there in the back lurks Ammonite. As it stands, the various growths seem to bow in reverence, possibly under its control. Alright, I do need to do this rot effect, so let me decide which of these... Well, I have 2 5-pointers, so, I mean, I could be up a signal effect, so this might be the wrong choice, but I'm going to get rid of Forever Mind because I'm not sure how helpful Forever Mind is going to be when I have 2 5-pointers. Right, because Forever Mind, it takes a while before you can control a 5-point baddie. I mean, it takes 3 rounds. Oof. Could get rid of Under the Old Self-Free and just hope that I survive 3 rounds to be able to really take max advantage of this. I've talked myself into it just in case. I mean, we'll see. There's really no good choice here. I mean, I could get rid of Axe Blade, but I just love it so much, except when I continually roll bones. But even if I get bones, I could add a distortion, and I could advance Forever Mine and get it done twice in 2 turns, which would be pretty awesome. Yeah, Forever Mine only has 3 sides. That's right, and then it has to vamp. Still. Alright, we'll do that. So I'm going to lose Under the Old Self-Free. That is the rot effect. Again, for the Ammonite setup, remove number of dice, player's choice from any slot in your Gearlock mat. Skill dice move this way are exhausted. Man, I really hate this loot. So bad. Alright, so we've done the rot effect, and now we're going to add, if this is a baddie Q battle, we're going to have to add 2 baddie points, 1 for Stanza's die, 1 for Pickett's die. So bow to your fungal king. You reluctantly bow to Ammonite, attempting to blend in before making a quick escape. Grow each spore by 2 levels. Or I don't bow to rotten leftovers. Vacant-eyed creatures fill the room, momentarily blocking your view of Ammonite. The timer disappears without a trace. Battle queue would be baddie points, or 2 5-pointers. A party of 3 or 4 has to do something. Oh, I really don't want to grow both of these things by 2. That's going to be punishing next round. And I get more trove loot. And I think I'm going to need better loot to really have a chance today. So we're going to do option 2. I don't bow to rotten leftovers. Of course I don't. So we're going to have 2 5-point baddies. Here we go. First one's going to be in lane 1. The second one's going to be in lane 2. What is our fate? I'm going to put this here, doing option 2. Great. The first one is the Dire Wolf. Rolls 4 dice, has lashback 2. Very nasty, but definitely could do worse. I don't hate it. That is going to be in the melee position in lane 1. And in lane 2, we have the Griffin Howler. Rolls 3 dice, has die, flight, and signal 1. There's a signal we thought we would be facing. So it does make the Forever Mine a little bit of a stronger choice, so I don't mind that. So this is going to go here. So 5 health, 6 health. The baddie in lane 2 has an ini of a 5. The baddie in lane 1 has an ini of a 4. I'm going to roll my initiative dice for Stanza, my ini die for Picket. We're rolling 3 defense dice for Picket, and our Lutar die. Alright, so he bones out there, but we do get 3 shield. Not the greatest of ini rolls, though, because we have a 3 and a 2. So we are absolutely last here, and the Lutar die is also only a 3. Oh no. That, my friends, was a bad any roll. Oof. Remember, you have dive, flight, and signal 1. The flight's the same as it was for the Griffin Howler. So yeah, I guess we're just getting some of the beast type baddies ended up together and on the top there. Um, the dive effect, if the flight effect die is active on this unit at the start of its turn, immediately place this unit adjacent to the weakest available opposing unit and target it. So we're basically looking at 10 dice. I don't know if there's a way I can get away from the direwolf. Them rolling 4 dice is ridiculous. I do think, though, Pickett's just going to have to take 7 attack dice and hope for the best here. The Griffin Howler is going to be untargetable. The Direwolf has Lashback 2, which is super nasty. I don't like it. Alright, we'll put Picket there. We'll put Stanza here. 1-point baddie's gonna come in over here. If it's range, that's gonna be a problem. Oh, the 1-point baddie is gonna be the clay golem, so we know that. So it's gonna be ranged, and we'll just go there, and that's fine. Again, there's gonna be a 1-point baddie because of signal. So we're gonna start this round. The Griffin Howler's gonna go. Make sure I'm not missing anything here. Doing kind of okay for the most part, I guess. Set aside my entire Friday eating for Maze Night Solo, only 48 hours ago. Nice. It's one of those games that makes gamers sound like such insane touches, though. All the terminology and everything. Keep them in the shadows. With that, I got a bell. Just want to say hi, cheers, and good luck. Thank you, Sajid. Good to see you. Brian says 24 hours of Maze Night, Sajid. Yeah, no doubt. Matthias says don't hate the direwolf. Wait until it one-shots you. You end up in a dire situation, Greg. I'm with you, Messiah. I may have kited many a direwolf. Yeah, I mean, I don't hate it with Picket because he has so much shield, but right now I'm just gonna need to roll really well with shields, and the last spec 2 is nasty. One thing I could do. If I go here, Picket's gonna be weakest because of that. Last comes in. If we take out the direwolf, there's a chance. I could take the lashback on Stanza one time. But then she's right next to that golem, but the golem's only rolling 1 die. Yeah, we have to eat into the direwolf. Alright, we'll do this. So the Griffin Howler's gonna roll 3 dice. I mean, otherwise Stanza's not gonna be able to do anything on this turn because she's not gonna be able to attack the Griffin Howler. So 3 dice against Picket, roll bad. 3 damage. That's all my shield. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. You guys are going to be prophetic. Here we go. Rolling 4 dice against Picket. Don't roll a 5. 4 damage. Excellent. Picket's still alive. 1 health. Beautiful. It's a beautiful thing. Picket's going to go. He has 5 decks. Oh, we have this here. The Howler's going to obviously have something to say about killing Picket next turn. Shield. Direwolf's attacking the weakest, but it's going to attack the closest first. defense. I think Picket stays there to draw some heat off of Stanza. So Picket's gonna roll 3 defense dice. I would like a 2-2-2, please. A 2-1-1. And is not gonna move, because if he moves, that's just gonna Stanza's the one who's gonna have to find a way to win this. It's gonna be tough, but we'll see if we can get a little lucky here. So Stanza's turn. She's gonna Star Forever Mine just to have it going, and hopefully we can. She started next turn. Now we're gonna need it. Maybe she just starts it next turn. Yeah, she'll start on next turn. She's gonna roll a defense die, 2 attack dice, and her axe blade against the direwolf. Big roll here, please. Yikes. So 2 damage, 1 shield. Bones on the axe blade, because that's how I roll. That's disappointing. I think I just don't apply any damage. It's not worth taking the 1 damage for the lashback here. So not applying any damage and just going to put this axe blade back, because that was a garbage roll. Alright, we're gonna go to the round 2. So remember, it's the what was it? Signal triggered, so we get the clay golem. Clay golem comes in with 5 health. It's going to sit in lane 3. Comes into the bottom of the innie meter. There. The Howler loses flight. It dives. It goes adjacent to Picket. It's rolling 3 dice. It does 2 damage. The direwolf is rolling 4 dice. It's probably the end of our boy Picket here. Yeah, that's 6 damage. So Picket is out. Alright, Stanza is going to start Forever Mine. I probably should have started that last time. I was hoping for a much bigger roll. If I got like that poison 2 even, but it's fine. We're going to start Forever Mine. It's 1 dex, moving here, and we're going to have the clay golem attack the direwolf. Attacking with 1 die. It does 1 damage to the direwolf. Direwolf lash back 2. Now you have 3 more decks over here. I think I try again. Try to kill this thing. I need a magical roll though. Can I get anywhere safe? I don't think so. One, two, three. Then I'm getting attacked with 4 dice. Yeah, this is a hopeless cause. This is hopeless. What's going on? Anyone know how rot works with Gasket? He is immune, even if not, his skill dice don't exhaust. I think he's affected by rot. His sheet says when he's swiftly immune to poison, bleed, weaken, terrify. You're reading his sheet now. I know he's not immune to the new status section, Splice Dice, decoy, stench, etc. Yeah, I don't think I have a chance. I think the smart thing to do now is just to forfeit my turn. Because I don't see how I'm pulling this off at all. The good thing is if everyone's KO'd, our spore goes down one instead of up one. And then I can kind of live to fight another day. We'll see with the Tyrant encounter. We'll see if we get another Tyrant encounter next turn. If I go... One, two. Should at least get to my next turn, and I can just forfeit it and kind of see how the rolls go against me. So I was here. Oh, yeah, 1, 2. So I did 1, 2, 3. That's all my decks. Oh, there were only 4 dice against me. Yeah, this was silly. It did not. I didn't even start for Evermind. There was no point. I just forfeited my turn. This dude stayed here. Direwolf is here. I still have 5 up. So I forfeited my turn. I didn't have a song going or anything, and I just reduced this die by 2 to get 2 from. It was at 4, now it's down to 2. Because after that, the Golem's going to attack me with 1 die. It's 1 damage. We go to round 3. The Griffin Howler's going to go 1, 2. It gets the flight die on it, so dive will trigger next turn. And the Direwolf is now going to attack me with 4. That is 3 damage. I have 1 health left. Stanza could forfeit her turn again to get down to 1. I don't hate. No, she's going to get down to 1 anyway because we're going to be KO'd. So, in a fit of anger and rage, she's going to roll 4 dice against the Direwolf. There we go. That was the first. Oh, God, that roll would have changed this whole thing. I do 4 damage. I do 5 damage. And I put a poison 2. That's the roll I needed the first time. There's a shield. The shield goes on first. Then the lashback happens. So that and 1 damage. So I am defeated. But hey, had I rolled that the first time, we definitely would have been able to have a much better chance of pulling that off. Because Direwolf goes away. I could do a whole bunch of crazy stuff with Forever Mine and can make it work. But hopefully this sets us up better for the rest of this adventure. So we get none of these rewards. We don't get the progress point. We don't get the training points. This just goes over here. Now, during the recovery phase, it says during the recovery phase, you stay, all spores will grow. All spores will grow by increasing their level by 1. If your entire party is KO'd in battle, treat all spore levels by 1 that day instead. So we're going to get to recovery phase. Instead of these going up, this goes down. So this goes from 2 to 1, and this goes from 3 to 2. So that will make the next round a lot better for sure. We are going to go to day 5 in the recovery phase. Obviously, both Gearlocks are going to get their full complement of 5 health back, and I'm still bemoaning how garbage this loot is. This loot is not helpful. Alright, that goes there, and that goes there. Howler's dive means nowhere to hide. Roll defense, at least. Yeah. Yeah, I just wanted to try to attack something. I mean, it didn't make any sense. I knew I was dying anyway. Or we were going down a defeat to come back and hopefully have a better chance another day. That's how that works. All right. So the undefeated baddies are just going to go to the bottom of their respective stacks. So the Clay Golem goes here. And then the Direwolf and the Griffin Howler will go here. Lane 1 marker, lane 2 marker, lane 3 marker. These all go over here. And we go to the next day. So I have 9 encounter cards here. We are on day 5. So we have 3 days to get ready to try to beat this jerky jerk. And I rolled a 6. So another Tyrant encounter. Break the mold. A desk sits in this cave, seemingly abandoned. A green and blue growth coating its wooden exterior. A variety of vials are strewn across it, pasted with an equally varied number of labels. One catches the light. Growth retardant. Further into the cave, something is stirring. The notes on the desk indicate that some sort of fungicide may lie in the bowels of this mountain. But at the distant echo of confused grunts and howls are any indications, the residents here have been experiencing some of the most deleterious effects. Everything seems to be moving slowly. So we can drink the retardant and get out of here. Set all spores to level 4. Persistent. Spores will no longer grow, nor can they be treated for the remainder of the adventure. Oh, so we're just stuck at 4? That's bananas. So it's a rot and a +1. No, I don't think that's advantageous for me. Fungicide, black mold. So we get 2 training points if we win this. Baddie Q is battle points. Before battle, each Gearlock Spore effect is resolved twice instead of once. That's actually not bad in my current situation. Treat this card as loot. If I win Fungicide when treating a Spore, its level is reduced by an additional level. Single battle. Treat this card as loot. Alright. Just by when treating a Spore. And so I think there's 2 ways we treat. One is if everyone's KO'd in battle. The other one is if you just forfeit a turn. So either way, well, it's single battle. Oh, it's single battle, so I guess I can only use this during battle. So if I forfeit a turn, I could actually, instead of reducing by 2, I can reduce by 3 if I win this. Alrighty then, so this is a big moment. If this does not go well, we can consider just starting over, although I don't know if these are the right Gearlocks to pull this one off. I'm not going to lie. We have day 5, the resolving both spore effects twice. So fortunately, we don't have to deal with any rot, but we do have +1 twice from Picket. So the battle queue will be 5 plus, it'll be 5 times 2 is 10, +1 +2. So that's going to be 12. So we're going to have 2 5s and 2 1s. That will allow me to get Forever Mine and play right off the bat. Under the old Self-Freeze, going to go here. Lutar dies, going to go here. And neither of us have to deal with any kind of rot. We have Mischief 2 and Signal 1 is the Goblin Sapper. It's going to have an any die of a 4. Hopefully I roll better with my any dies than a 3 and a 2 that I rolled last time. That was pretty special. This goes here. The next 5-point baddie is the Wiser Golden Troll Ultra. It has an any die of a 2, so that's good. However, it has Stench 2, Poison 2, and Careless 1. It rolls 2 attack dice and 2 defense die. Stench 2 is, when defeated, place Stench number effect die in this position. Treat as untargetable obstacle. When Stench is placed, all units adjacent to this die are immediately dealt the number of true damage, so it'll be 2. Additionally, Gearlocks moving adjacent to Stench are dealt 1 true damage. At start of a round, reduce effect by 1. Stench 2. So again, it only will last for 2 rounds, but that's kind of gross. I mean, literally, because, you know, it's stenchy. And we get 5 health here, but he's not awful. I like these, you know, 2 baddies a little bit better with my 2 Gearlocks than the last 2 for sure. Dragon Hatchling. Dragon Hatchling is attacking the weakest of the Gearlocks. It has Engulf. It has an any die of a 6. And it is going to be in the ranged position in lane 3. It has 3 health. Goes right there. And the last one is going to be the Direwolf Pup. We just got crushed by their daddy, so here you go with the pup now. 3 health. It's going to go in the melee position in lane 4. It has an any die of a 3. And that's right. I'm going to roll the any dice for Picket, the any die for Stanza. We're rolling the Lutar die, and we're rolling 3 defense dice. Yoink. Alright, 3 shield for Picket. I rolled a 5 for Stanza, but I only rolled a 2 for Picket. And Lutar die of a 2, and a Bones is the 3rd defense die I rolled. Where's your shield buckler when you need it? Yup. It would have been great to drink some troll brew in hindsight. Oh yeah, you went in line. You can apply rot to stat dice. So I guess we'd have to do that. Well, the sheet says the skills are exhausted to use. It doesn't say you can exhaust them from other game effects. Interesting. I have not played Gasket yet, but I'm fascinated by this conversation on a fairly deep level. All right, this Mischief 1 is garbage. Blue is going before anyone else. Or Mischief 2. Mischief 2, Signal 1. We have pretty much no chance. The Goblin Sapper is the most dangerous one because that Mischief is going to really get old quick. If I put Picket here, he gets attacked by that and that. I'm going to want to use engulf to my advantage for sure. Sure. I think I go here with Stanza. No, then she's gonna get hit by the stupid engulf. That's a problem. Alright, we'll go. Oh, he's got poison too. Oof. Never mind, I changed my mind. Oh, poison 2 is awful. Definitely need more decks for Stanza for sure. Oof. Rough. Alright, we're gonna do this. Pickett's not gonna have a chance to. I mean, Stanza can attack this dude before he gets the shields up. It gives us an outside chance. I just wonder if it's worth taking the damage from engulf. Probably is, because then I could spend all my decks to try to really finish this dude off. There's an outside chance of doing that, because if I can wipe him out before he has a turn, that's really gonna help. Yeah, we'll make it work that way. Every point of damage is gonna matter. It's only 5, so 5's not horrendous. So we are going to. Oh, then do I just have it attack Stanza? Yes. Pickett's got shields out. Oh, that's even better. Great. So they both have the same amount of health, so that's fine. So the dragon hatchling is going to attack Stanza, rolling 1 die. This, because of engulf, the damage is going to be added to any adjacent baddie. Again, adjacency is only orthogonal. And all damage rolled by this unit also hits all units adjacent to target, including self. It also triggers reaction skills if applicable. So done. Oh, it bones. So much for all that stressing for nothing. Great. Thanks, Dragon. Just when I really want you to hit me with 2, you hit me with nothing. So we're going to take 2 dice. Well, alright, Stanza's turn. Stanza's going to start Forever Mine. And she's going to have the Dragon Hatchling. Nope. I could do that. That's better. It's only one either way. So we're going to control. We're going to take a turn for the direwolf pup. Moves 1, 2. Now that's not going to attack us. And it's rolling this 1 attack die. It does 2 damage. Good pup. Love it. Alright, that's great. So now Stanza has 3 more decks because she just started 1 song. On her turn, she's going to roll 2 attack dice, and she's going to roll the Axe Blade. And all we need is 3 damage. Oh, gotta be kidding me. I rolled like garbage. Do 1 damage. I got 3 bones. Could add distortion and have another attack, but I don't think it's gonna be enough anyway. But it would allow me to attack with a level 5 baddie next turn. Oh, I'm thinking mischief. Oops. I was thinking weaken in my head. Yeah, mischief is not great for Picket here. Mischief is not great for Picket here. I don't think I waste the Axe Blade. It's gonna be so much poison. I already applied the 1 damage, so we're down to 2. God, what a bad freaking roll, dude. It's so stupid. Oh, it's really bad. Rolling good, guys. Rolling good. So, bones. Of course, the one time I actually rolled good with my attack dice, it was when that was already a hopeless case. A feeling we're going to have a repeat performance. Sure. Um, yeah, Pickett's about to lose all his defense and get attacked by 3 dice. It's nasty. Alright, I'm going to put both the Axe Blade and this in here. We're going to add Distortion. That's going to allow me to get to the second level of the Forever Mine. And now, maybe we'll get lucky. We're going to have the pup roll 1 attack dice, so it's attacking the Wiser Goblin, whatever, Troll. What is this again, man? I can't even read this. The Wiser Golden Troll Ultra. Looks like a mech, but it's not a mech. So roll a 2. Oh, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. That was huge. Great. So the pup does 4 damage in 2 turns, both on Stanza's turn. Super magic, kids. So that dude's out. That was just absolutely a Hail Mary, and it worked out. So this goes away. We now go to the Goblin's turn. The Goblin his mischief is going to trigger, so we take both of those dice away from Picket, and now the Goblin's rolling 3 dice. We do 3 damage. Picket's down to 2. And we do signal 1, so we're going to have a 1-point baddie come in lane 2. The wolf pup is going to move forward. It's attacking Stanza with 1 die. 2 damage. The pup just rolls 2s. That's all it rolls. 2 damage every time. Don't forget it. And now Picket's going to go. Picket has 5 decks. Picket's going to roll 3 defense and 2 attack. And it's going at the Goblin here. So it just gets 2 defense, but it does 4 damage, which is pretty sick. So the Goblin's down to 1 health. So it could actually go away with Engulf next turn. And we get a bones, which we can put here. Alright, that was a huge roll. This pup is... how could you... It's like stronger than the direwolf was. So we're going to get this die comes in here for round 2. How is it only round 2? I don't know. Oh, it's the other clay golem. I did put the clay golem on the bottom, right? Clay golem? Yep, I did. Alright, here we go. So it goes to lane 2. Lane 2 melee spot is full, so then we try to do lane 1. Lane 1's full, so then we do lane 3. Comes in with 5 health. Obviously it has break and a whole bunch of other goodies. That's going to go there. The dragon hatchling is going to attack Picket. It's attacking with 1 die. It's attacking the weakest, so it is going to be Picket. It does 1 damage. Picket loses a shield. Stanza loses a health, but then the Goblin also loses a health, and the Goblin's out of the game. So we got rid of the 2 5-pointers. Now can we survive long enough to take out these 1-pointers is really the question. Got a bunch of more discussion about Gasket, which I will read. Later Splice and Dice Tyrants are definitely a step up in difficulty for sure. Facebook group Adam is quite active with rules questions there. Well, I hate to bring it up to you, Greg, but mischief isn't great for Stanza either. Oh yeah, good point. Right, never mind. Good boy, pup. You know, that's what happens when I don't play a game a lot in a while, and I'm like, let's do a live playthrough. And it's like, oh right, that's right. That thing that I hate, that's about to happen, isn't it? Awesome. So the hatchling is out. Now we just have some 5-pointers. So let's get cracking here. I'm going to, well, I advanced this. So that's one of my decks. I can take a turn for a 5-point baddie, but obviously there are no 5-point baddies left. I can break the die. Ooh, that's probably what I want to do. Alright, so break is any attack that is used to reduce this unit's hit points must be exhausted. Don't want to move Stanza. Loosh. So the dragon hatchling is going to attack the clay golem. It rolls 1 damage. Break trigger, so the dragon hatchling now has no more attack dice. So that's helpful. Stanza's got 3 more decks. She's going to spend 1 to start. Oh, I cannot start because I don't have the focus. That's not ideal, but it's going to have to work. She's got 3 more decks. She's going to not attack the direwolf pup because that lashback is super nasty. Although lashback 1, well, then the wolf pup's going to actually go next. That's the problem. Clay golem attacks the strongest. Yeah, I think Stanza's going to go in the corner here until she can start getting her under the old self-free thing going. Stanza's turn is done. Ooh, no. Then the direwolf attacks. Oh, none of that's good. None of that's good. Yeah, it's got to avoid rolling a 2 with either of these guys. Well, Picket's going to go before the golem. So he'll get some shield back. That's fine. So the direwolf's going to go here or here. We'll have the direwolf go here. Direwolf is going to attack Picket with 1 die. Oh, that's a defense die. It does 1 defense. It does 1 damage. Picket's other shield comes out. Now Picket goes. Picket's going to roll 3 defense and 2 attack dice. And we'll see if I want to apply this against the direwolf. The lashback 1 would mean that Stanza would become the target, and I don't love that. For sure. Could have just moved Stanza 2 and just had her roll a defense die, but nah, I think I like what I did. So again, he has no defense dice in active slot, so he can roll his full complement of defense dice here. And hope for a big number. Not going to apply, well, yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to actually do a shield bash just to get rid of the pup here. So I'm putting in I roll the bones, so now I have 2 bones, so that gives me a shield bash. When you do a shield bash, remove all defense dice, including newly rolled ones, active slots, and locked slots. Skill dice removed in this way are exhausted. Deal total number of removed defense and damage to target. So I'm going to shield bash. I had 3 in my defense slots, and that's going to be enough to wipe out the pup. So lashback doesn't trigger because the pup did not survive. Bye, pup. Thank you for all of your hard work. I love you. That's done. So now the golem is going to come in, and the golem is going to attack the strongest. Both Picket and Stanza have 2 health each. I'm going to have the golem attack Picket, who used all of his defense to wipe out the pup. 1 damage, so Picket is down to 1 health. We go to round 3. The dragon hatchling has no more attack dice, so don't think, does it still move? This is where I get confused with, since it can't target, I think it moves to get closest to a Gearlock anyway now, so it just doesn't attack. I think it would actually go there and there. If anyone knows, that'd be amazing. Why move stand so far away? Stay behind Picket and roll defense die. Yeah, it'll work. I thought about that later. I don't know why I did that. It just felt right, dude. Like, no, you're right. You're absolutely right about that. That was a silly choice on my part. I do think the hatchling moves to get closest to a Gearlock, and it just doesn't attack. This is where I get confused. Baddie chip, lock skills, tyrant card, battle mat, battle queue, in battle, Gearlock's turn, baddie movement. Nope. Ranged baddies do not move, so I guess ranged baddies still don't move even if they have broken all their dice. Okay, even better. Good to know. The more you know. Alright, Stanza's going to go. Stanza is going to have to vamp the Forever Mind die. That takes 1 focus. We're going to start onto the old self free, which is going to give me 1 in buff HP onto my mat. So that takes 2 focus, which is fine. Stanza is now going to probably just lose her attack dice on this golem. Because if I can wipe the golem out... Oh, no. Shoot. Picket only has 2 more health. Or only 1 more health, and it's going to be absolutely wiped out in the fatigue round. So Stanza cannot be attacked again. Is pretty much how this is going to go down. Yikes. I think Picket is going to go a little sacrificial here. So Stanza is going to move 1 and then roll the defense die. I should have rolled last time. We got there. 1 defense. Picket isn't gonna be long for this world, I don't think. So Picket's gonna roll. Let's see if I roll some 2s here. This golem has 4 health left. Yeah. I got 3, 4 shield, which is big. Do I apply this one? Nah, it's not worth applying 1 damage to lose the die, so I will not apply any damage to the golem. The golem's gonna go roll 1 attack die against Picket. It rolls a 1, we take out 1 shield. We go to round 4. The hatchling again already broke its die, its attack die. Stanza is gonna go. We're going to vamp the under the old self free, because I do not want to give 1 health back to everyone. That takes 1 focus, and then we're going to advance the Forever Mind. That takes 1 focus, so that's 2 focus. I'm going to move the golem and attack the hatchling. Remember, the hatchling can't attack anymore. Bones did. Of course I did. We have 3 more decks. I don't think it makes sense to do much here. We're just going to move 1, 2. And I can't roll a defense die because I already have 1 in the active slot. So I have 1 more deck, so I'm just going to waste it. We go to Picket's turn. Picket is going to hopefully get a big shield bash. So Picket's moving. We have 4 more decks, rolling 3 defense die and an attack die. Shield bashing as a golem here would be amazing. Alright, so I rolled a 2 with that. I have 2 bones. I got 1 more shield. So I'm going to do a shield bash. It's going to let me do 4 damage to the golem, and I don't have to break my attack die because I had 4 defense. So the golem is out. This goes here. We go to round 5. Alright. The dragon hatchling has no more attack dice because it broke it on the golem. Stanza is going to go. She's going to, well, these songs are not going to be helpful anymore because, again, buff HP is not going to help me against fatigue damage. So we pretty much have 2 rounds to get 3 damage on this hatchling. So we're just going to exhaust both of those songs because they don't matter. We have 3 decks. We have 4 decks, I mean. So 1, 2, 3. We're rolling an attack die against the hatchling. I got 1 damage on it. And now we go to Picket's turn. Picket's going to move 1. It's rolling 2 defense dice and an attack die. This defense die, or this bone, should move over. And 2 defense die, 2 attack die. Can we end this before fatigue rounds? 2 damage and 2 more bones. That will do the trick, though. So that wipes out the dragon hatchling, and we pulled victory out of the jaws of defeat, folks. Because of that pup. That pup was everything. Can I just tell you? So, range doesn't move. It can target ranged. So Ulrich says, if I recall, it still moves. I think talking about the ranged baddie. Yeah, so the rules say ranged baddies don't move, but if you negate its attack dice, I don't know if that changes the nature of the baddie. Matthias range doesn't move, it can target ranged, right? Oh, could not see it was ranged, needs bigger screen. Yeah, no doubt. Just got here. What happened to no number one die for Picket? Number one die for Picket. I haven't gotten it. I actually haven't gotten Shield stand ground yet. So hang in there. Matthias Bogpole is ranged, doesn't have attack dice, but it doesn't move to apply poison. Right. That makes sense. You couldn't move the hatchling coastler, says Brian. I don't know. It's a rules mystery. All right, buff HP goes away. We are going to, obviously, in the recovery phase, just get back to full health. So definitely no scouting. That was a big win. Lutar die comes back here. Under the old Selfree is going to go back here. Forever mine. Axe blade. This comes out. Bones comes out. This goes here. We're going to get 1 progress point, which gets us up to 5. 5 after 5 is good. We get more loot. So Bing, treasure, trove map, shuffle the special encounter. The Ebonite doorway in. Ebonite doorway. So this is going to be added to this pile. Again, I just rolled dice here. I'm not shuffling anything. We get a loot for Picket. Ace of Gears. The aces are a special thing that may or may not exist. So this may or may not be on my table. When played, count the aces in your loot area. If I only have 1, I can re-roll up to 1 die that I just rolled. It is single use. With tricks like that, I could get gribbedly hop every time. That's right. Who doesn't love some griggly hop? Clearly, Nugget is crazy about it. We are going to advance this. This goes from 1 to 2, the spore die for stanza. So now no rot, but it is +1 to the baddie Q. And Picket goes from 2 to 3. So again, no rot for Picket either, but +1 to the baddie Q. Stanza will earn this. So fungicide, when treating a spore, its level is reduced by an additional level for a single battle. Could be useful, but it does treat it as loot, so it does count as part of my loot limit, which is 4 for both of these dudes. Or women, sorry Stanza, didn't mean to offend you there. And now we have to get our 2 training points. Stanza obviously needs more dex, so that gets her up to 5. Don't know if it's going to be possible to get to Breaking of Day lore enough to make it useful. Really do like Breaking of Day lore though. But I also like Charge Swing. So Charge Swing is deal damage to baddie, also deal number of damage to a unit adjacent to baddie. And then Fury Cleave is pretty cool. These shorter battles, man, it's just hard to get things moving the way you want. If I do the River Deep, though, oosh, I could just take a health. My health is real low. Yeah, I think I have to take a health. 5 is just not enough. Not enough, so we get that, and I think I'm taking am I literally taking 0 skill dice for Picket? Ugh, so gross. Not good. He's got a bunch of decks. Alright, I'll take Stand Ground, and I will take the health for him too. Get him up to 6. So very much a stat build for Picket. But it's do what you gotta do. Alright, we're gonna go to day 6. I think everything is good. What's going on here? Brian says no new comments since we're still talking about the hatchling, which I appreciate. We're gonna go and roll a D9. So I have 3 tyrant encounters left, 5 general encounters. Hopefully none of them are dangerous starts, because we all know how I feel about that. And then we have the Ebonite doorway. Would not mind a 9 or an 8. Another tyrant encounter. Day 6, here we are. So we have 2 more encounters. We just need 1 more progress point. So we will have a couple of shots of this. Fungus Among Us. The clearing seems to offer respite from this endless underbrush. A few baddies can be seen, but they appear harmless enough. Therein lies the problem. The glowing mushroom caps on the ground appear to render all who walk on them slightly out of their wits. A more clear-headed approach would be to skirt around this questionable oasis, but doing so would likely lead to tougher, more lucid foes. Field of Screams, baddie points. So baddie points is going to be 6 times 2 is 12, plus 1 plus 1, so it'll be 14. So 2 5-pointers and 4 1-pointers. Each Gearlock starts battle with a confuse effect die on them, and a confuse effect means my attack stat becomes my defense stat. My defense stat becomes an attack stat. It's not awful. It does raise a question. Start of battle. I think I would still do this at the start of. I think I would still do the Shield War and Innate before that triggers. But if that's wrong, somebody can tell me in the chat. Or clear heads, tough baddies can't lose. Oh, great. Clear heads, tough baddies can't lose. Battle queue is just baddie points. In a party of 3, we add 6 baddie points. In a party of 4, you add 8. So there's really no effect. There's no extra benefits on the bottom one. So we will use the top one. On the top one. So we'll use the bottom one, and we're just going to have a baddie queue of no. Yeah, so we're going to have a baddie queue that's going to be the same. So it's going to be the 14 that I mentioned, but we won't have to worry about the confuse effect at all, which is great. So 2 5s and 4 1s, and there are some nasty 5s left in this pile, and I am not feeling good about this. I mean, it does make you wonder if I should just do the Troll Brew now, but you know, it is what it is. I'm scared. Help me. So, the first 5-pointer is the Manticore. Why do I hate you? The Manticore comes into play with 6 health. It has an any die of a 3, Rage 2, and Poison 2. Nasty, nasty, and nasty, and still wish I had a loot that allowed me to take away a thing. So it goes in a ranged position there. What is Rage 2? Basically, if the Manticore has less than full health, it is going to roll 2 more dice, and that's gross. So it'll be doing a ranged attack with 2 dice as opposed to a ranged attack with 0 dice. But again, either way, it's doing a poison effect on its target. Oh, and by the way, it targets 2 Gearlocks, not just 1. So that's basically 3 true health coming off both of these suckers. Woo! That's really not good. So hopefully we can find a way to knock him down the sides before he goes. And then we have the aggressive Geophage. This only has 2 attack dice and a defense die. It has thick skin 1, so it's basically like a permanent defense that it always has. It has stout and has treasure. So the stout means it cannot, I think it has to lose our fatigue. This unit's last hit points can only be removed by fatigue. That is like immune, like what am I trying to say? Like Tantrum's assassinate skill still works on it, which is crazy to me. But if you're actually using dice to take away its hit point, it has to be done by fatigue. And then it has treasure. The treasure means that after it goes away, we put a die on there, and then you could spend a dex to pick up to basically, if you're adjacent or on that spot, you can roll the treasure die and get a benefit. Not the worst of baddies to see for sure. So that's in lane 2. It has 8 health, which is a lot of health. We're going to put you here, and that is a 3. Lane 1 any die is also going to be a 3. These need to be re-rolled, and this goes to round 1. Excellent. Here are the 1 baddies. So we have the Troubled Trollbold. At 1 attack die, 1 defense die, it has daze, so its target would cannot move if it is attacked. That could be really good to use with Forever Mine. Again, right now, the only thing that's totally making me think I don't have a very good chance right now is that stupid Manticore. Do not like you. You're the worst. So this sucker goes here. Also, in any die of a 3. And finally, we have the Goblin Sandbagger. Goblin Sandbagger has a backup plan of a Mischief. It's going to be in lane 4 in the range position. Only has 2 health. And it is attacking the weakest Gearlock. We have 2 more in the battle queue, which I'll just put right there. And that is an any die of a 4. I'm rolling the 3 defense dice. Oh, that Mischief is really bad too. That Poison 2 is bad. Don't like it. At some point, if we can forfeit Picket's turn to get this down to a 1, that could be important. I really don't want to deal with that rot. Does have stand ground now. That could be helpful, especially with the reusable bones in there. So 3 defense dice for Picket because of the innate shield wall, both the any dice and the Lutar die, and I think that's it. So let me roll this up. I rolled a 5 for Stanza, only a 2 for Picket, so that is a trend that is unfortunate. 3 in the Lutar die, also a trend that is unfortunate, and 3 shields for Picket. Alright. I vote number 1 die for Picket. The red die are strong. Yeah, same health is always good. Agree with that. Don't know what the timing of Picket sheet says. Greg's nemesis, the Manticore, in many games. Yup. You have 5 attack dice to kill the Manticore, but you'll be able to tackle both Garrix, whoever attack him. Yeah. And then we have the Rage. Just, none of this is good. Stanzas first. Oh, man. Mischief garbage. I think I try to kill the Goblin. It's only a backup plan, the Mischief. But if it triggers, that's good. Just don't know if Forever Mine makes sense. Picket's rolling. Oh, man, if he had a 5, I would try to get crazy here. Try to do a shield bash or something. Let me look at his shield stand ground effect here. Yeah, so if I roll this 1/3 of the time, I get +1 health every turn. It goes in my lock slot, so it lasts the entire adventure unless I'm knocked out. I think that's going to be super important. It's going to be one way to not have to worry about this poison effect. Ah, this is really bad. All right, Picket, you're last because I can't roll your any die for crap. Can I reroll my any die with the Ace of Gears? Can I reroll my any die with the Ace of Gears? I think I can. Does a 3 help me more than a 2? It kind of does. Doesn't say battle. Who knows if I can use my loot right now to reroll my any die. Not sure there's going to be a more important time to have that. I don't love being last after 4 turns of this garbage. Loot, where are you? Alright, loot, trove loot, 11, 15. Nope, that doesn't help me. Page 11. Fence dice, an A+1. What? It does say 11 and 15, right? Oh, I'm sorry. I was looking at melee. That makes more sense. 28, 21, 7, and 14. 21, loot. There are 2 kinds of loot. Outside of battle, loot can be used or discarded at any time. During battle, not specified others, loot must be used on your turn. So I could use it. Do I want to reroll this die? That is the question. I think I do. Because I just hate going last here. Yeah, I'm going to use it now. What's going on? If you can take a turn for the Manticore when it's damaged, it'd be great. Oh, yeah. Yeah. It'd be 3 rounds, though. It's bad. It's really bad. And if I can kill it before it has its third turn, I mean, it's still doing 2 true damage, one. That's 5 true damage to both of these dudes. Oh, yeah. I'm going to try to get. I'm re-rolling my any die. Please don't roll a 2. I rolled a 2 again. Yikes. Never mind. Well, I'm glad I stressed about that, guys. Shoot. It's really bad. Don't like it. I mean, I could, in theory, I punt this battle. I get this bolt down to a 1. I get 1 more training point in day 7, hopefully, and then I finish this in day 8. I just don't think I'm going to be able to pull this off. It's just looking really bleak. That Manticore is terrible. Or I blitz the Manticore. Try to make some magic work with Stanza. Let's try that. Picket's going there. Stanza's going to go here. And Stanza's first. Yeah, Forever. Oh, I want to Star Forever Mine, but it's not going to do much good. It's not going to do much good. Days attack. I think I have to start it though. Alright, we're going to Star Forever Mine. 5 decks. Oof, my focus is only 1. Oh, that's really bad. My focus is only 3. That's really bad. Axe Blade. Yeah, these guys just aren't going to do enough damage to make it worth it. This guy has thick skin, so him rolling 1 attack die is stupid. I don't want to actually take the Manticore's health away, because then he's going to be rolling 2 dice, and it's definitely not going to go away before the next turn. So I will start. I'll do the old cell free for sure. Let's get some buff HP. I'll start Forever Mine. It gives me 3 decks left. I can move and roll 2 dice. Yep, I think I have to start Forever Mine. I have 3 decks left. Moving 1, attacking with 2, and hopefully taking down this goblin. So I started Forever Mine. I didn't. Oh, I could, with Forever Mine, take a turn. Yeah, I'll take a turn for the goblin. He's going to roll 1 attack die against the Geophage. It rolled a 2, so it actually gets through the thick skin and does 1 damage, so not totally useless. And now I have 3 decks left, so I can roll 2 attack dice. And I'll roll the Axe Blade just in case as a backup. I mean, I know I have the defense dice, but I really want to get 2 damage on this goblin. So I did 2 damage. Of course, I rolled the max for the Axe Blade, but I'm not going to use it because I don't need it. I'm doing 2 damage to the goblin, wiping the goblin out. It does mean a new 1-point baddie next turn. And hopefully I didn't. Hopefully I don't regret knocking that dude out. But that mischief always scares me, especially with a ranged baddie. Alright, so this is out. What's going on here? Try to get 3 bones with Stanza in advance Forever Mine. Yeah. Yeah, bones would be nice. I mean, it's a problem with only having 1 defense die, right? It's just that much harder to get bones. So we go to the Manticore. Poison 2. poison 2. We now go to the geophage. We're going to have him go down. He's going to roll 2 defense die and an attack die, or 2 attack die and a defense die. And we'll have him attack Picket. Ooh, now it's right. He got all these defense. 1 damage and a bones, a defense die of 2, so 1 shield comes out. The troubled Trobold will come down here, rolling 1 attack on 1 defense. I'm going to switch my attack and defense dice, which isn't terrible actually. So 1 shield, 1 that comes out, and now I'm dazed. Oh, I can't move. Oh, never mind. I can't even move. I can't even oh, that's why I wanted to reroll it anytime. Shoot. That's really bad. That's fine. I mean, it's not fine. That's terrible. So dazed it is. We are dazed. Unit cannot move. It's the end of my next turn. My next turn is now, but I'm still not going to be able to move. I take 2 damage because of the poison. I thought I was thinking confuse. Who would I confuse? No one I confuse. Which is the one? I don't know why I thought confuse is in play. But I take 2 damage because of the poison. This ticks down to 1. I'm going to roll 3 attack dice, or 2 attack dice, 2 defense dice, and my stand ground. And I'm attacking the troubled kobold because that dazed stuff needs to go away because that's really bad. So let's see what happens here. Alright, I got a reusable bones. Ooh, nice. So I got 4, 2 bones. Oh, it's not going to wipe him out. Another bones. He's got that stupid shield. He's going to keep dazing me. That's a problem. So we're going to I'm going to put the reusable bone in first. I'm going to use both these bones. So stand ground die comes back here. We're shield bashing. And we take the troubled kobold down to 1 health. See if I can wipe it out with Stanza next turn. Dazed die comes away. And we go to round 2. And my Stanza, I mean with the Forever Mind die. We're going to have a new baddie come in. It goes into lane 4. It is a Griffin Yearling. Oh, it only moves 2, right? That's not good. The Griffin Yearling has 2 attack dice. It has 2 health. It's going to go there. Bottom of the inning meter. Going to have to wipe that out for sure. Stanza loses 2 health because of the poison. That ticks down to 1. Stanza is going to vamp the Under the Old Selfree. Again, the buff HP doesn't it doesn't deal with true damage. So that's unfortunate. But we will advance Forever Mine. We have the Griffin Yearling move and attack with 2 dice. Again, that takes up all my focus right now. So we're attacking for the Griffin Yearling. By the way, this is still their separate turn. So 2 damage. It just takes off the shield. Unfortunately, doesn't even get through the thick skin at all. And now the Stanza has 4 decks left. Stanza is going to move 1, rolling 2 defense die and an attack die against the Griffin Yearling. I'm sorry, 2 attack die and defense. Actually, I'm going to roll 2 attack dice and the axe blade. Oop, and the axe blade just to make sure I do 2 damage. Let's get the yearling off the board. Again, I rolled the max for the axe blade. I don't need it. And again, flight is optional, so I did not have to use that skill when I took the turn for it. So that will go away. And we have our end of the baddie queue here. This. Alright. What's going on now? So, poison 2, poison 2. Troubled kobold. Sorry, the aggressive geophage. Oh. Yeah, Picket might be done. Picket might be done for. Aggressive geophage is attacking 2 dice. 2 attack dice and a defense die. I still think that shield bash was right. That daze is really nasty. So only 1 damage, so that's helpful. But I still don't think it's going to be enough because the troubled kobold is going to go. It's attacking me with 1 attack die and 1 defense die. Bones out on the attack! Nope. 1 defense. There we go. And now Picket's turn. 2 damage. Picket's out. Really needed to get the stand ground to trigger. Because I could have gotten a health and then lost a health. But unfortunately that was not meant to be. So Picket is done. He's wasn't able to forfeit a turn, so that's going to go up to 4, unfortunately. We go to round 3. The last baddie comes in. It is a Goblin Rioter. Mischief 1 is guaranteed, so that's super bad. And it's going to go into the melee spot in lane 1. It doesn't have one, so it's going to go into the melee spot, or lane 4. Can't fit there, so it's going to go into the melee spot in lane 3. Oosh. Stanza takes 2 damage. She's going to get rid of Under the Old Self-Free. We're going to advance Forever Mine. The reality is, this goes here. I mean, we have to get rid of the Manticore. I just don't think it's possible. The Mischief's not awful. Just get rid of Forever Mine at this point. Yeah, if the Manticore had any damage on it, it'd be good, because then I could just have it. I could do Rage 2 against 2 targets. I could have it do a Poison 2 against 2 targets. That would kill that and that. But then on its turn, it's going to poison me, and I have no way of getting health back. Heal all. Yeah, there might have been a way to pull this off. I just did not stumble into it. The Manticore is just really bad. That poison would just eat you away. And I just had no... If I didn't have the daze and I blitzed it with Picket, I kind of like where that would have gone. At this point, I think I just forfeit a turn. Because I'm going to die my next turn for sure. Fungicide, so single battle. So I could have this in effect for a battle. Obviously, I'm not going to use the whole thing now. Single battle. Do you have to decide before the battle? Just make sure I can hold on to this. I mean, I wouldn't have wanted to use it for this battle anyway. Loot, where are you? Loot. Does not say. I think it actually tells you if you have to choose at the beginning of your battle. Alright, let me forfeit my turn with Stanza so she won't have to worry about rot at all. She's just not going to be able to survive. Poison 2's going to trigger. And this dude's going to come in and finish her off with 2 attack dice and a defense die. So buff HP comes off, 1 more damage. Oh, he wouldn't have rolled the defense die because he was already maxed out. And then we have the... Oh, this should have been at the bottom of the baddie queue. This dude comes here. This dude comes here. We go to round 4. Stanza's going to take 2 damage because of the poison, so she's out. Oh, I didn't even need a forfeit a turn, to be honest with you, because I was going to -1 anyway. Alright, so day 6, we lost. Instead of increasing our dice, we just reduced them both down 1. So Stanza's is at 1. Picket's is at 0. Undefeated baddies are going to go back underneath the stack. Manticore reigns supreme as usual. Oh, wait, nope. You are a 5-point baddie. No, there he is. You are a 5-point baddie. That will go here. And Manticore on top. They go to the bottom. Recovery options are going to give 5 health to both of these guys. So Stanza, or 6 health to both of these guys. So our margin for victory is super thin. We have to win next turn, get a 6 progress point, and then we will have to just go at it in day 8. But the spore dice actually aren't that bad right now, so that timing should work out for us, but nothing else is looking very good right now. Not to lie. These come out. Lane 4, lane 2, lane 3, lane 1. Health dice here. We have done our recovery option. We move on. We have 8 cards left. We need something with a progress point. I will roll a d8. Here we go. 8. The Ebonite Doorway. Does it have a progress point? No. Are you kidding me? The Ebonite Doorway is great, except I need a progress point. Let's pretend that never happened. I never used that loot. It's absurd. Alright, 5. Is there a progress point here? There is! Excellent. We'll make this happen. So, oh, this isn't even a battle, which is nice. Our ducks in a row, the barons attract all types of reclusives, wackos. So this is day 7. So definitely a huge asterisk, because we would have had the Ebonite Doorway come up next, which is amazing to me it doesn't have a progress point. I mean, whatever. That's out. The barons attract all types of recluses, wackos, and outlaws, and illegal entrepreneurs. Coming across a rickety homestead, it's anyone's guess what we'll find. And if an opportunity should arise to gain an advantage in the coming battles, well, who's to say what passes as noble or useful side quest? With said shack just ahead, it looks like we'll have a chance to find out what such an opportunity holds. From a distance, it seems like a harmless farm of sorts, but we Gearlocks know to never trust first impressions, especially this far north. Help a farmer in need. Kill those rats. Not a very epic task, but no story is complete without a quest to clear out rats in a basement. The number of rats you must face is equal to your party size plus 1, so it's going to be 3 rats. Roll a d6 for each rat to decide its HP. So the first rat, we're going to roll a d6. How much HP do you have? First rat has 1 health. Beautiful. Second rat is going to have how much health? It's going to have 5 health. That's 5. Third rat's going to have how much health? It's going to have 1 health as well. Beautiful. Place HP stats on battle mats and melee positions 1 through 4, then range. The rats do not move, attack, or take a turn. Place Gearlocks in their starting positions. Each party now has 1 rat that does as much damage as it can. Much damage to as many rats as it can. Treat this as a normal battle. If your party defeats at least all but 1 rat, you succeed. Okay, they don't have attack stats. If we succeed, we get the Ebonite Doorway. But clearly that wasn't that helpful to us. Great. So we just have to kill one rat. Excellent. Or all but one rat, which again should be fairly simple at this point. So we just have one round. I can't attack multiple things. That's fine. Okay, Picket needs to go there. Stanza's gonna go there. This is one of those battles that I'm like, really? It's just a bad idea. Great, I did 3 damage with Stanza. Picket's gonna roll 5 dice. And he did 2 damage. So these 2 rats are dead. There's only 1 rat left. Since we killed all but 1 rat, we succeed. Excellent. So we get 1 training point, 1 progress point. That gives us 6. We can take on Ammonite next turn. And with our last progress point, we are very much under-leveled, but we are going to try to make this work. I am tempted just to take... Tempted to take health. I'm tempted to take health. We're going to ignore... We're going to avoid rot. The red stats are very good, as has been pointed out. I could take sword advance. I will grab sword advance for Picket, and for Stanza, we have our Unto the Old Self-Free, we have Fairer Mind, we have the Lutar die. Stanza, I will take Charge Swing. That was a 5. Yeah, 5 decks is not a lot for either of these dudes. I'm actually give her a 6 dex because of the song, it's 2 attack and a defense die. It could be helpful. What's going on here? Aren't you confused? I wasn't confused. I was reading it wrong. I was dazed. I wish I was confused because that would have been so much better. I think, wait, or was I confused too? I don't think it mattered. No, I was dazed. I was saying confused, but I meant dazed. Because it was a troubled kobold and he was dazing me. And that was bad because that's what meant I couldn't move. If I was confused, I think I could have gone in and I could have done a big attack on the Manticore and tried to on Stanza's turn if she could have moved around. It would have been a pretty interesting thing because I could have actually moved the Griffin out of the way to get Stanza in there and tried to take out the Manticore in round 2. But once Picket got dazed, it just totally wiped me out. And it was like I don't think there was anything else I could have done. Like there was no place I could have put Picket to get in place to attack the Manticore. Just the way it played out. So that was pretty unfortunate. I mean, the other thing too, had I rolled one, if I bones, had I rolled one more attack, if I was able to kill the troubled kobold, he goes away, and then remember it was his attack that knocked Picket out the next round. So if he wasn't there anymore, it would open up a door, just kind of this cascading, cascading failure in that round. Just like was just very close to being able to put something together. Just it didn't look that way at all. So attack 3, 2 defense. I think I asked that. Confused from the encounter card. No, I wasn't confused from the encounter card. I chose option 2, which meant it was the same baddie queue because it's only a party of 2, and I didn't have to worry about confused. That's why I was talking about confused. That's right. Yeah, I was dazed, but I did not have to do the confused thing because I chose option 2. Doesn't say to draw a new encounter card after that or something. I thought so, but I think that must be in it must be something from Undertow. No. Yeah, you don't. It's crazy. You get 2 training points and a loot, and that's it. Yeah, I think that's an Undertow. I think the similar thing in Undertow, you actually just draw a new encounter card for the day, which would have been a lot better. It's a very bad combo of baddies. Yeah, so confusing. Yeah. You terrorize Manticores in previous life, Greg. I'm trying to figure out why there are scores for you across multiple games. It's John Alderson. Yup. Tis my life, man. Tis my life. So, alright, what's going on? Fortunately, that playthrough of Zia I put out today, there were no manticores in space. So if there were manticores in space, I assure you I would have found it, but there was none to find. Day 8. Let's get the ugliness over with. I have no belief that I am pulling this off. I am very, very underleveled. I would probably need at least another 2 progress points, if not 3 or 4, to really feel confident about this. So, Sporever yours. Oh, they're so punny. I love chip theory games. Anyway, baddie Q. Party of 1 ignores this. Add Ammonite to top of baddie Q. Baddie Q is going to be 8. Did I advance these? I did not. So this goes here. This goes here. Oh, no, it went down because I lost. No, day 7. Right, day 7. Getting ahead of myself. Day 7, this goes to 2, this goes to 3. So that's totally right. Because it went down to 1 and 2, it goes up to 2 and 3 in day 7, and I can also scout. I scouted a 5-pointer. It is the Boglurk. Oh, get out of town. Boglurk, again, poison 2 would have been Manticore all over. And I rolled a 4, scout the 5-point baddie again. It is the Sonar Troll, who is just absolutely nasty. Stout, thick skin 1. But since we only need, I know George is going to be upset with me, but since we only need to defeat, Sonar Troll's so bad, but you can do so much worse. Since we only need to defeat Ammonite, but we need to defeat him 5 times, I mean, it's going to be a long battle anyway. Oh, the Sonar Troll is so nasty. I'm going to pass on the Sonar Troll because it's a ranged baddie who's doing 3 attack dice every round. It's got stout, which means you can't even get rid of him. Oh, but you could do so much worse. I'll keep him. I'll keep him. He's attacking the weakest. Alright, hopefully that'll be Picket. Alright, so I scouted the Sonar Troll, and I'm going to regret keeping him, but I'm going to do it. So, we go to... Baddie Q is going to be 8 times 2 is 16, plus 1 from this is 17, plus 1 from this is 18. So I'm going to get 3 5-pointers, 3 3-pointers, and Ammonite is right on top. So we're starting this battle with Ammonite and 3 5-pointers, which is amazing. Ammonite comes in with X health. What does that mean? We'll get to it. So, when Ammonite is defeated in battle, place on the top of the baddie queue and skip immediately to the end of the round. The round counter is only advanced after a round in which Ammonite is defeated. Defeated in battle, and skip immediately to the end of the round. Okay. The round counter is only advanced after a round in which Ammonite is defeated. Battle is ended and adventure success is achieved if Ammonite is defeated in round 5. Unique Tyrant skills. At start of round, set Ammonite's hit points equal to the current round number. Round number to start this game is going to be 1. Ammonite's on top, so he's going to get the lane 1 chip. Ammonite is a melee baddie. Ammonite can move diagonal, but does not bring in any extra 5-pointers when it comes into the game. Ammonite has unique Tyrant skills. Mold at the start of the round, set Ammonite's hit points equal to the current round number, which I already did. And then Rot 2, remove 2 dice, player's choice from any slot in your Gearlock mat, including stat dice. Skill dice removed in this way are exhausted. Stat dice and counters removed are suspended until the end of battle. The Tyrant die has 3 different sides. 2 of these sides are going to be spore growth, increase the spore level of targets by 1. Not sure what that does this late in the battle. I might be missing something though, I'm sure. It's going to be really bad, Greg, just wait. Biome, add number of baddie points to baddie queue, total the spore levels of targets. Oh, there's an interplay there, so it's going to be a super crowded baddie queue. And spore sickness, deal number of damage to targets equal to the spore level. Putting the tyrant die on the Ammonite. Sonar Troll is going to be a ranged baddie. It's going to be in lane 2. And it comes in with 4 health. Sonar Troll has an any die of a 3. I'll tell you what, dude. Picket, if I could get friggin' Picket's any die to not roll a 2, that was another thing that was super tilting because I used the Ace of Gears to give myself a second shot, and I still rolled a 2. Like if I had rolled a 3, even I think I could have had a really good shot at that last encounter. So you just see how these small things in this game have such a huge impact. Ammonite is a 1. Tyrants, oh, interesting. Ammonite's a 1, but remember, Tyrants always come in at the top of the baddie queue. So during the battle, when he comes back in, he's going to go into the top of the baddie queue. He starts at the bottom of the baddie queue, though, for the very first round. The next 5-point baddie is the Sand Bragging Brute. It has Confuse. So now we're doing Confused and it has Decoy 2. It has 3 attack dice. It has an any die of a 4. Lane 3 marker for. I need to reroll that. 5 health for this dude. This is not going well. When's the last time I won too many bones? Like on the channel. I think it's been like 4 playthroughs. I'm really good at this game, guys. We have the Goblin Sapper. We have Mischief 2, Signal 1, 5 health, and he's also melee. So melee, 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 ranged. Excellent. He has a 4, and he is in lane 4, so he will be below the yellow die. I'm rolling 3 defense dice. Any die, Lutar. You make the magic happen. Oh, I rolled a 2 and a 2. Oh, this is game over. I mean, that's dumb. That's really bad. Yeah, I don't think there's any way to overcome that. 2 and 2, kids. Just for fun. I mean, yeah, Ammonite leaves, he's going to come back. He's just going to absolutely wallop me every turn. 5 defense because of for Picket, so there's that. Lutar dies a 3. I do wonder. I don't know how they would do it, but I do wonder with the balancing of this game that they do for 1 or 2 players. I wonder if there was a way they could have, like, at a 2 players, like add 1 to your any die. At 1 player add 2. I think it. The any die, especially true solo, it's like you roll bad at any dies with somebody's gear locks, and you're just getting walloped by 4 monsters, like 4 enemies before you go. Now, again, true solo tends to be easier than 2 players, so maybe the balancing should be even different. But like, I do wonder, like the any die has such a huge impact on so many encounters, and especially with all these baddies that give you poison 3 or poison 2 or confuse or daze, like this when you're going last, it's like such a brutal disadvantage. Um, yeah, this isn't. I don't think it's gonna go well, but we'll play it out. That's why you play the game, kids. So, that's really bad. That is just really bad. Weak. This dude is gonna mischief me. That means a sonar troll is gonna attack me. Signal 1. The the decoy number 2, when defeated, plays a decoy effect die on position with number of hit points. Party treats decoy as opposing unit. While decoy is a battle mat, Gearlocks may not attack baddies. Decoy does not prolong a battle if baddies are defeated. Excellent. Yeah, there's no good place to go. Because they're all getting a turn. They're all getting a turn. Remember, if we were managed to kill, if we got ahead, if I rolled a 5 with either of these dudes, I kill Ammonite, we immediately advance to the end of the round because of the scenario rules. And it just gives, we're like in the game. The way it is now, we're going to get attacked by 3, we kill him, round ends immediately. Then we get attacked by 4 before we have a second turn. I just don't see how that's possible to even consider overcoming at this point. Um, Alright, Stanza's going to go there. Picket's going to go here. Do want Stanza to go before Picket. For sure. Sandbagging Brute is going to move, rolling 3 attack dice and a defense die against Picket. 3 damage, so 2 of these defense dice come out. It boneses, so it does not get any defense itself, and now I'm confused. And then confuse, now my stats are flipped. So my attack stat, my defense die are swapped. So I have 2 defense and 3 attack. We saw nothing. 2 players are hardest mode, 2 Gearlocks. Someone's gonna die from 9 attack dice from the 5 pointers alone. Yeah. It's not good. It's not good at all. So the 4-pointer. The lane 4 baddie, Mischief 2. I have nothing to lose. Attacking me with 3 dice. 4 damage, because I roll good for somebody. Just not me. So down to 2 health there. It that was from the other dude. And then it signals, we get another 1-pointer added to the bottom of the baddie queue. Now we go to the Sonar Troll. Sonar Troll is attacking the weakest, which is going to be Stanza. Oh yeah, Stanza's toast my ghost. 3 attack dice. Stanza takes 2 more damage and a bone, so of course it's exactly the 6 they needed to defeat Stanza. And now we go to Picket's turn. Picket is going to attack. Remember, his attack stat is now 3. His defense stat is now a 2. He's confused. I'm confused. So I'm going to roll. We only need to do 1 damage to Ammonite, so I'm going to roll both of my bonuses here. I'm going to roll 2 defense and 1 attack. Oh, my defense stat's only a 2, so I can't do that. I'm going to roll 2 attack and 1 defense with my 5 dex. It's the most garbage roll ever. That's amazing. Alright, so I'm going to roll. I get a 2 reasonable bones, another bones. I get a shield, and I get 1 damage, which is enough to actually kill Ammonite. That immediately ends the round, and we go to round 2. Because again, the way the round advances is different in this round, in this scenario. So, when Ammonite is defeated, put it back on top of the baddie queue, and immediately go to the end of the round. The round counter is only advanced after a round in which Ammonite is defeated. Battle has ended. Blah, blah, blah. Great. So now we come back in. Ammonite's coming in. It's a tyrant, so it immediately jumps to the top of the battle queue, and it is going to go into the melee position in lane 1. It has 2 health because it is round 2. There is no room for any more of these dudes to come in. We're going to carry this out. So Ammonite's going to roll 2 attack die, 1 defense die. My confusion can go away now. It's going to roll its Tyrant die. So this is... It's also going to do this rot thing, which might not affect me because I have no dice left in here. I have those reasonable bones instead. Where the heck is the... From any sign, your Gearlock mat. Oh, these have to go away. Yikes. Okay, well that's a thing. So we're gonna, if I take the health, I think I have to adjust my health accordingly. Oh yeah, I'm gonna be down to like nothing. Oh, this is terrible. This is awful. So we'll take the health and the attack stat away because of rot 2. I have to take away a health to adjust that accordingly. I think that's right. If it's not, it doesn't matter anyway because I don't have a chance. So we're rolling these dice. I rolled the biome, add a number. I think I knocked that over. I think it was just 2. I'm pretty sure I flipped it on the way over. But that takes that away. So 2 attack, it gets 1 defense die. And the biome, add a number of baddies equal to the total spore levels on targets. Total spore level on the target is going to be just the 1. So another 1-point baddie on the bottom of the baddie queue. The Sandbagging Brute is attacking Picket with 3 attack dice, and it bones, takes that out, takes a health away. We go to the Goblin Sapper, rolling 3 dice. It does mischief too. There is no more, no active stats, so that doesn't go away. But rolling the 3 attack dice, it does 5 damage, and that defeats Picket, and I don't have a chance with this matchup right now. So yeah, you really need a lot of things to go better than they did for me. I don't think you could lose a battle. I mean, I would have needed another 4 or 5 defense. I mean, I really needed stand ground set up. I needed sword advance set up as it was. I rolled them only a few times, but I still never got anything but a reusable bones. Um, I just wasn't really in a place to really even have a chance the way they played out. I mean, it could have been, if I win a battle and then if I won that day 6 battle and then you give me the Ebonite doorway, that's not a terrible place to be. I'd have 4 more stats, um, and it just would have been a lot less beat up. And in theory, if I had multiple times to roll this, I could have eventually gotten the +1 health. But nope, reasonable bones. Hey, there is another side. But this is fun. I do like these tyrants. They're hard. They're very thinky. They're very unique. They have some very interesting mechanics. I like that the idea that you can kill Ammonite early, advance the round, kind of skip over round 1. But hey, he's gonna keep coming back. But I, I mean, it's not that bad of an encounter. If I could have gotten one of the Gearlocks at the top of the baddie queue, I kill Ammonite, great. We go to round 2, I kill Ammonite again, great. We go to, he might attack and I might start losing dice, but you can really get into round 3 or 4 before you're getting pummeled by everyone else that's on the mat, and I just was never able to get ahead. I mean, I was in the bottom of the freaking, I was in the bottom of the inning meter and just getting absolutely punished. I mean, Stanza never had a turn. Poor Stanza. After all she's done, but there were some fun moments, man. That wolf pup saving the day in that early encounter, that was pretty fun. I will definitely be playing against Ammonite more on my own. I love Stanza, I love Picket. These are 2 of my favorite Gearlocks. Again, I only have the first 6, so I am very excited to really flesh out my community of Gearlocks and let them go nuts in my basement. Just have a nice little good old time down here, making their own little open door. So, yeah, you didn't have a chance? That's about right. It's fun to play it out. Every once in a while, magical stuff happens in games. It's like the 1%ers, and you're just like something happens, and or I don't like I'm stubborn, right? So I definitely, how do I get good in Mage Knight? How do I get good in Spirit Island? You just like you see hopeless situations, and you're like, well, let's play it out, and everyone's like, oh, that's a strategy I didn't think about, or that's a interplay between card interactions that I didn't see coming before, or whatever. But yeah, these are rough baddies, man. I mean, you get the Scales baddies with the Hardy, you get the Bog baddies with the Poison. This is a tough matchup, and the Griffin yearlings and the Wolf, and just wasn't really ever wasn't statted up to make it happen. I mean, you're all of a sudden you're in day 4. Day 4, you're almost guaranteed to be at against 2 5-point baddies, and against 2 5-point baddies with these 2, that's tough. I mean, you almost, I have to really think about how I want to build out Stanza more. I think actually it was right. I just, unfortunately, when I really needed it, I rolled 2 bones every time, and when I really didn't need it, I rolled what I was hoping for, which was the 1 damage and the poison 2. Um, I do wonder if breaking up Daylor makes some sense. Not sure. Well, Forever Mine was huge with the Direwolf pup. Yeah, there's something with Stanza's build that I really need to kind of think through a little bit more. And I don't. I think a stat heavy thing with Picket is generally the right way to go. Although again, if I had tried to get stand ground out earlier instead of getting that third defense die, and then I just have that extra health, that could really go a long way. Um, but I used to love his warden profession a lot. I just thought that was a fun puzzle, and like trying to get stuff in lock slots. It's hard to do both the captain profession and the warden profession, and I think in a shorter adventure, I don't think you have the time to really get the warden profession set up. But there's some fun things you can do with the warden profession. They use lock dice, I think. Actually, they don't even use, no, they use active dice. Yeah. So if you have a bunch of shields, to really make this work, I almost feel like you need the innate +1. And I think one of the things in this particular matchup, when you're worried about the spore dice, it is hard to get to a place where you can get those 6 bones to get that innate +1. Um, those 6 slots with Picket, I feel like when you're really fleshed out, you want like 12 slots for him because you can get the Warden Profession going in active dice, you can get your Captain Profession going in your lock dice, and you can just friggin' put defense dice everywhere. And he's absolutely just an absolute beast when you can get it all to come together. I also never got any of my consumables. The loot did me no favors. This Troll Brew was garbage. This gadget arm has ended up being garbage. I mean, I did not get anything that could have made a big difference. The Ace of Gears could have made a big difference, but then I rolled a 2 anyway. Um, Nothing that healed, no fortunate discoveries. The reinforced buckler. So, just some things that just could have gone a little different. There's a lot of fortunate discoveries. I never realized how many fortunate discoveries were in this pile. There's a lot. There is a lot. Selfie root's nice. The gadget art, anything that helps me with training, I'm just like, oh, please, give me something different. I just don't find them that helpful. But that's it. We'll be back. What is the next baddie? I forget. There's like the order that was on the original Kickstarters when I'm going through. But the next baddie, I think 2 of them had to be played with Undertow. I think Oxide's one of them. Do I have? There's no. This is the loot. I think these are my Undertow cards anyway. Yeah, this is one of these things. Oxide. There's Lock Gear. I think is. These are solo encounters. Yeah, I don't know where the Tyrant encounters are. They're in one of these boxes somewhere. If I had my trove chest, I could I could have it more organized. But yeah, so we'll see. I think there's like Nobulous is like one of them. There's Lock Gear, there's Oxide, and then there's a fifth one. But yeah, they're all supposed to be. They all look super super interesting. I have still not done the build of Tyrant, so it was my goal. Especially after talking with Josh, was I like the ready-made Tyrants, and then I'll kind of experiment with this build of stuff. And I guess there's also the Gear Lock Apprentice program, which people seem to really like a lot. So, yeah, they're better designed and a lot tougher. They definitely seem better designed. Top 2 Gearlock. Stanza is bananas. Yeah, I love Stanza. She's great. I like Stanza. Picket not so much. A bit of a one-trick pony. Leech. There you go. Leech was the one I was missing. I think Leech was the one that was second on the Kickstarter. So we'll probably do him next. Unless, yes, Leech doesn't require Undertow, I don't think. So I can't even imagine, like, these encounters, and then you start like you're messing with mechs and you're messing with like Krellin and some of those encounters. But I guess it would be because you had the Tyrant encounters, you wouldn't have to worry about all that too. These Tyrant encounters are nuts, man. I'm not gonna lie, like just absolutely crazy. And they give you those. I mean, the one time I could have just walked away and just increased my die by 2. I mean, that was probably the right choice now in hindsight. What was it? Increased by 2 training points. Yeah. Yeah, this is when I lost to the 2 5-pointers. But then I would have been coming back. I had rot. It's not terrible though, and I think I was just desperate for better loot because my loot was so garbage. So that's a choice. Yeah, if I do day 4 different and I actually just increase these dice by 2, plan on forfeiting turns, no, I'm gonna have to deal with rot. I do like the mechanic. I think it's a nice little balancing mechanic where if you're all KO'd, the die goes down. There's just a lot of really smart decisions here, and it does seem like the maturing of just the design team as I think about this. And actually seeing that too, like, does make me more excited about Unbreakable too. I think that it'd be really nice to see where they can go with some of these decisions and how they kind of put together these tyrants. The one tyrant I don't have yet is I did not spend the $70 for Automaton of Shell, and maybe I'll regret that down the road. But this is basically gonna be the only tyrant I do not have in my house. So hopefully, Hopmachus Victorium fulfills before I'm done um, with the Splice and Dice baddies. At minimum, hopefully it fulfills before I start doing the Gearlock Apprentice program and all that other stuff. So definitely so much to explore with this game. It's going to be a mainstay in the channel for a while to come. Speaking of what's going on with the channel, I did publish a Zia today. Note, if you see my calendar on my Patreon page, that Sunday is more of just like aspirational. When I say Sunday, I'm probably going to release a video Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday. This week, it just happened to be this morning. Just got a lot going on personally right now, so not always able to get all the editing done when I want to. So when I say Sunday, just know it's going to be sometime, hopefully before my live playthrough, almost guaranteed. Next week, I'm going to be doing a double header with Spirit Island. We're going to do the second wave scenario. So I'm going to play one playthrough and then we'll do a second wave. I'm super excited about that. So be sure to check that out if you're a Spirit Island fan. So that's next Wednesday for my next live playthrough. It's going to be a double header. Sunday, I'm releasing Sunday, Monday, or Tuesday, I'll be releasing my first playthrough of Madara. Super jazzed to finally get that to the channel. That was a long time coming, potentially the most I put into learning a game so I could actually do it justice. There was a lot to that game. Playing solo is a very interesting challenge as you're playing with four heroes. There's a ton going on, a ton of moving parts. That game is definitely not for everybody. I really like it. Um, and I'm excited to see where it goes in the channel. And I'm not sure how much more I'll be able to get it on in the future, just for practical purposes. But I'm excited to finally feature that one. So definitely check that out. Again, as I said, there is a schedule on my Patreon page. You can find that in the link to my Patreon page in the description of this video below. I put a public post out about a week before every month to tell you what is happening in the current month we're in, with a sneak peek at the month to come. While you're there, if there's a tier of support that makes sense for you, please let me know. I would love the support. Ulrich says Mischief is really hard for Picket and hard for Stanza, so it's a hard setup to begin with. Yeah, that's a good point. Didn't see the star, but Pickle's red die are really strong, but need to get them early. Yeah, that's a good point too. I definitely leaned into the stat. It's so he's so like underpowered with Dex and with attack, um, that I spent a lot of my early training points there, and maybe just grabbing stand ground is a better choice. Um, it's interesting. I am so much more of a true solo player, and I more just now like saying I think my preferred way to play this game going forward is going to be two-handed, which is funny because I'm not that way with most games that I play. Like, people know I'm kind of a true solo guy for like Spirit Island and Maze Knight. I don't want to play two mages, but I just find the extra baddie queues for the Tyrant battles. You just have a much more satisfying experience two-handed. But I have to relearn a lot of these characters now that I'm playing two-handed, because the builds I would use for true solo aren't as optimal or as necessary when you have that second gear lock. So I'm kind of curious to kind of see how that process goes in the weeks and months to come. So um, for sure, I should be back too with another Cloud Spire. My errors video, I was super happy with. Two mistakes I do want to point it out for Chip Theory fans. I forgot that the choose any hero you want in Wave 1 was only a Brawnin thing. So I did start the game with Keem instead of Darb playing as the heir, so that was wrong. The only other thing that was wrong, and it's not my fault, I'm still a little annoyed by it, is the Elfin Kazi movement. I assure you, I Googled that stuff and I researched that stuff as much as I could. There are two entries on the Chip Theory games customer service play, frequently customer service like pages, frequently asked questions, and they're just wrong. The Elfin Kazi, as per the Chip Theory website, they only move when they're leading minion. Now that's true if you're playing against the AI, but the way it's worded and how it's described on the website basically says that they only move when they're the leading minion, even when you're controlling them. That's not true. That's been eroded, but they haven't updated their website yet. So the Elfenkazi move like heroes, so you can move them before you move your minions, you can move them after you move your minions, but you cannot move them in between moving your minions. Practically, it often will make a difference, but it definitely can. It also makes them a lot stronger more often than not, because it's great to be able to move the Humminger or move Jelena and then move the Elfenkazi. It's a very, very strong play. So I was using the language on the website. That's just wrong. I do not understand. I can't fathom why they haven't updated that yet. I know they're busy, but like that, there cannot be anything in Cloudspire more Googled than questions about how the Elfinkazi move. So this is probably not going to be the first time you hear me rant about this. But yeah, so that is a regrettable mistake of the video. Definitely check out the comments from Ricardo Oscom. He's pretty active on the Cloudspire Discord, so he was able to get kind of the inside information. So everything I just said. So yeah, the website's wrong. The actual thing is they don't move when they're leading minion. They move like a hero, and that applies to all situations of Elfinkazi movement. So don't see any more comments. Thank you for an active chat. This has been great. Yeah, looking forward to Spirit Island next week, and we'll go from there. And hopefully I will win this. I'm with Ulrich. This is a tough matchup with the goblins and the mischief, but I think I'm going to be stubborn and I'm going to try to play this until I can make it work, or at least have a much better showing, and go a little bit deeper against our friend Almanite here. And that's it. So any questions, comments, epiphanies, put them in the comment section below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Any rules mistakes I made here, please put that in the comment section below. It's helpful not only to me, but also to any other viewers that come along down the road as this video sits in perpetuity on the YouTubes. We have Matthias Dupe. All right. Thanks, man. Thank you. And on that, thanks for joining me. And until next time, happy gaming.